last time we left off, the party had arrived in Neotaurus 53 years into the future. They found themselves wandering the city looking for answers as to where they are and when they are. And last episode we started off with them arriving at a familiar location, formerly known as the Leaky Drink, this new hotel called the Leaky Keg, which is kind of an ancestor shop of the Leaky Drink, called to them. It gave them a familiar feeling. So they headed towards the Leaky Keg, and inside the Leaky Keg was a goblin and a shadowy lion named Solus, Nara's best friend since childhood, her companion, who had been waiting for her there for 53 years. 53 years. Like a dog without their best friend, Solus remained waiting for her. She didn't leave him behind. She was ripped away from him. She was thrown into the future without him. So we met up with Solus, who'd been waiting there for 53 years, and we learned a bit about the city and the new environment that the party is now in. So this is also a recap for Jerome, or Whole Wheat Pete, who was not here last week, happened to miss, and so this kind of will help him. So that's why I'm going into it, chat, just so everyone knows. So with that, you guys talked with Solus. You learned that the last time he saw Squelch was the same time that you guys saw Squelch. That was one of the first questions you guys asked, is where is Squelch? He said, I don't know. He told you that he escaped from the laboratory by just running away. On his way out, he was injured in his back right leg, which got infected, and he ended up losing that back right leg. So Solus has a mechanical appendage on his back right leg, so he now has like a metal back right leg, but it's rusty and old and squeaky, and it doesn't work very well, and it hardly holds him up. So it was makeshift, kind of put together by the owner of the Leaky Keg, who you guys have not met, but you did meet one of the like hotel clerks, and he talked with you guys. And this goblin, he is the great grandson of Jerome's first girl that he hit on in the campaign, the goblin waitress in the original Leaky Drink. So this great grandson didn't recognize, Jerome or anything. It was nothing. There's no special interaction that happened there, mostly because Jerome wasn't here last time, but maybe that interaction will happen another time. But
wait, you're telling me Jerome hit that?
No.
Wait,
no.
It wasn't your grandchild.
No.
He
The
was
goblin you hit on, the goblin waitress.
Damn,
He was a
I was
somewhat
hoping,
tall goblin.
maybe like there was like some backstory.
Oh,
like
your
I
child?
blacked out and I somehow slept with the goblin waitress, and that would have been so cool. All right, anyways, continue.
Not quite. All right, so you guys continued kind of discussing that, learning a lot about the environment from Solus. You learned that there are robot police that monitor the streets of Neotaurus. You learned that they are ruthless and they are unfeeling, but as you learned all this information, you kind of like, okay, need to rest. We need to definitely get some sleep. You guys still had not slept yet. So you finally went to sleep. In that time, Pox and Isabella both were visited by their deities, who kind of only contact them when their mind is at ease and their mind is sleeping. So Pox was approached by the Hexblade soul that came to him and talked with him. Same with Isabella, who was approached by her fiend that she worships. And they were basically both told a similar thing, which is that the powers of their deities had weakened. The powers had weakened, and after 53 years, those deities are desperate for their visages, their people, to be in their control again, to be working for them again. So Pox and Isabella are like the kind of like the paladins of these deities. You know what I mean? They are they're supposed to go out there and help people start to understand them and worship them, and supposed to basically bring power to those deities, and they haven't for 53 years. Those deities have been sitting around waiting for them to show back up, and they finally did. So we got that conversation in, and then as you guys woke up in the morning, the robot police had surrounded the building that you were in. The great-grandson, the goblin who was at the front desk, was nowhere to be found. And everything was eerily quiet until Zim opened the door and had a gun pointed in his face. As he said, "Put your hands up." This robot, with this kind of mechanical tone, said, "Put your hands up and come quietly." And Zim, being Zim, basically said, "Fuck you," and slammed the door. And a chase ensued throughout the streets of Neo-Taurus as you guys all escaped the robot police and found yourself into a crowd of onlookers. It seemed like this whole area had been marked off. The whole city had been told to not go in this area just so that you guys would be arrested. And during the chaos and the shooting and the large amounts of battle that was going on, you guys were actually able to sneak into the large crowd of onlookers in the town square, which would kind of be like Times Square. It's a huge open area with all kinds of screens and lights all around it. It's just like Times Square. So you guys were able to kind of sneak into the crowd there. One thing I wanted to mention in case somebody didn't catch it last time, near the end of your battle, as you guys were escaping, there was a large creature, and it seemed more vicious than it ended up being. It was this large snake-like mechanical creature. It was as big as a building. And when you approached it, it was actually Isabella who approached it first. It screamed at her. Instead of biting her or attacking her or firing weapons at her, it screamed at her with this loud, ear-piercing scream. And you guys were kind of unsure what it was. But as you all finally escaped past it, and it was distracted by Jerome's cannon, so Jerome's cannon kind of climbed the side of a building and distracted this large creature, who continued to kind of scream at it and make these like alarm noises at it. You guys escaped past it and found out that this was actually one of the street sweepers of the city. The bottom of its belly is covered in brushes and cogs, and it slithers across the street and sweeps up trash. That's what it does. And it's not meant to fight. That alarm, you can guess, was there to scare off people, to get them to move out of the way, to get, creatures like rats and things to get out of its way and scurry back out, back under into the sewers. It was there to warn people. It's not there to that thing was not there to attack you. You were just in its way. So kind of gives you a little perspective on the city in terms of, not everything is as it seems. Not everything is, maybe as dangerous as it looks. It's kind of a tricky little city with a lot of hidden, nuances, if you will. And that's where we're going to pick up this time, where you all escaped into the crowd. The people around you pretty much oblivious to what was going on. They're all staring at the street sweeper as it slithers away and sweeps up the street. It had been damaged and attacked. It looked unconcerned with the battle and more concerned with just having you guys get out of the way. As it slithers by, the crowd of people are all oohing and aahing as they haven't seen something like this in a really long time, and you were able to kind of sneak into them without anyone noticing. Even Solus and Kathrak, who stand out like sore thumbs, were able to get in there. And this was almost all thanks to Whip Tracks, her character Nara, casting Pass Without a Trace, which is a spell that gives a boost to everyone's stealth. So, with that, Nara and Isabella, you guys have new clothes on. So you can decide what those clothes look like because you got them from the Goodwill, because you were hiding in there, and that was the last thing you did before you snuck into the crowd, and it helped you with your rolls. I gave you an extra bonus because of that. So you're wearing whatever kind of clothes you want, so you kind of describe whatever you want. Think of Goodwill clothes, so you're not going to have fancy stuff on. You might have your fancy clothes on underneath, but you've probably got something pretty homely on at the moment. But with that, we are going to roll into episode 12. Thank you everyone for being here. And let's roll the intro.
Let's go!
You heroes are so predictable.
Right,
always believing you have the upper hand. Always underestimating your foes. And in our eternal game of cat and mouse, you've always had the luxury of being cats. Now, I'll show you a world where you're nothing but mice.
future that I've created. I have access to an army. I've upgraded my body. I have infinite resources at my disposal. Now run, little mice.
Hours all based on one roll. That's rough. Jerome must have just had a rough day yesterday. Or
Well, he was probably distracted by the just the excitement of the day, and that probably got to him. So, with that said, chat, during the intro there, I had Pete, I had his character Jerome roll me a intelligence check. You can see there he got an 8. I had him add +5 to it anyway because of his expertise in robots and things like that. Warp Spider, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope your stream was awesome. We're just getting into it. We're just starting up today's episode, so welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for the raid. So, Jerome, not a great roll. He was pretty kind of distracted yesterday in-game, so he didn't really get a good look at everything, but you did get a nice look at the robots as they were outside your window, and you kind of got a close hand encounter with them as well. So you get a good look at the robots. You now know the name robot, so you know that word, which you can use in your vocabulary.
robot.
Yeah. You know that these machines are powered by energy and not magic. There is a magical component to a piece on their chest. There's a chest piece, kind of imagine like Iron Man. It looks like one of those, flux capacitors that he's got in his chest. It looks like that in each of the robots. And that has some kind of magical aspect to it, but you're just unsure what. But they look like they're not powered by it. They're not powered by magic. They are powered by technology. They're powered by electricity and what you would know as kind of thunder. Lightning, that kind of thing. So they also give off a lot of steam.
Thunder's the sound.
You're right. Lightning. You're correct. It's called thunder damage in D&D though, which is very confusing.
That is weird.
Yeah, thunder damage. Like when you hit somebody
The
with
only
lightning bolt,
thunder
it deals
that my
thunder
character
damage.
is aware of is the thunderous sound of his ass cheeks clapping as he runs.
God damn it.
Damn.
What can I say?
Thickums McGee.
Yes, sir.
So that's what you know, Jerome. Is you see that they are steam and electricity powered robots of some kind. Same with the street sweeper. Seems to be similar. You are intrigued by it, but at the moment you are all blending into the crowd of what we're going to call Central Square. So this is called Central Square, Neo-Taurus. And around you are these large screens that are showing advertisements for different products. So as you look around, I want everyone to roll me a perception check. This is for you looking for each other and looking for just seeing the things around you. So everyone roll me a perception check.
Wow, really, Jerome? What are you, dude? Man, these rowboats are so cool, guys.
I don't think collectively we rolled that bad.
Oh yeah, not too bad.
God
Looking around,
damn, Jerome's throwing.
Zim, Kathrak, Nara, and Pox. You guys looking around, you spot each other in the crowd. So you all spot each other. Jerome is too short, and he seems to not be being noticed right now.
Do we notice him though?
But you notice him. You do see him. He's but what he's looking up at is a screen. So Jerome, what you're looking up at is one of the big screens. You're looking at one of the big screens here in Central Square, Neo-Taurus. And the screen that you're looking at is actually a screen where it's got one of the similar looking robots on it that you just fought. It's got a robot on it, and it says Neo-Taurus Police Force, donate now. And it's got the robot is looking like kind of like a superhero. It's even got like a cape on it, and it looks like it is kind of like a propaganda piece for the police here in Neo-Taurus, which are again these robots. Then it flashes to a new screen, and you guys can kind of look around. I'll just tell you the few advertisements that you see. So you see advertisements for a place called Red Lobster. It's looks like a place you can go eat, and it looks like they sell all kinds of fish and things. It looks very fancy, very high end, and the visuals are like of butter dripping over large pieces of fish and lobster and steamy goodness, and it just looks really, really good on the television. You even see some stuff that looks breaded and fried, which is something that was very rare back in the day. I mean, frying stuff was not very common, but it definitely looks like it's, got fried outer shells to it and things like that. It looks very delicious, and all your stomachs are kind of growling as you didn't even get breakfast this morning. We are not sponsored by Red Lobster. I wish we were. That would be so awesome. Can you guys imagine if I was actually sponsored by Red Lobster? It'd be so fucking
I would
cool.
just eat cheddar cheese biscuits all the time.
Oh my god, it would be so fucking cool. All right, so you see that advertisement, and the last advertisement that you see that just stands out to you, the rest of them being clothing shops and jewelry shops. I mean, they're all kind of normal, but the last one that stands out to you is a place that does body modifications, tattoos, piercings, that kind of thing. And it even shows you a little map from Central Square where to go at the bottom of the advertisement. So if that's a place that you're interested in, you can head that way. That place is called Porky's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, because I also see everyone, is I'm going to start talking telepathically to everyone. And
I think that we should meet at the other shop. Don't make a big fuss, so that way we get away from these autonomons.
All right. Anyone respond? Can you guys respond or no?
Are we in range to
Are
respond?
we together?
They can't.
or
You
are
can't
we
actually respond in your
We'll
head.
just go, and we'll just head that way. I
Yeah,
guess.
you guys all
I think we
see
just-
him.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
I'm gonna walk up to Zim and be like, so how did those cops know where to find us?
Well, I think it was the goblin, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he turned us in because he wasn't there in the morning.
Interesting.
So when I find him later, I'm going to tear off his fingernails and flay his fingers.
Oh, that's hot. Can I join?
So
Good.
as
I'm
you
just,
guys,
just kidding.
as you guys group up together into kind of like an area of the crowd, it seems like everyone's distracted, but the people are kind of dispersing as the police now came to the edge of the alleyway, and they are starting to point their guns at the crowd and are shouting things at the crowd. So you see the crowd is dispersing. You're getting less and less cover here.
We're leaving.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to decide where you want to go. So you have a couple options. You can go to one of the places I've mentioned, or you can roll me a investigation check for some place in specific that you want to find. So like if you want to find a certain type of shop or a certain type of person in the crowd or something, you can roll me an investigation
Solus
check.
know where to go?
So it depends on where you want to go. Do you want to go to
His leg thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to do
The
the leg
inventor.
thing. I just
Yeah,
didn't know.
that's where I was looking at trying to
Okay.
send them to.
So yeah, he said that he knew where an inventor lived for that could maybe help his leg, but he wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going to check
Okay.
out first.
So as you guys are leaving the square with the crowd, Solus kind of takes a sharp right turn down a large street with a large group of people. A few people are kind of looking at him in a strange way because he does stand out still, but it's really not as much as back in the day. Back in the day, people would gawk and, freak out. But nowadays, I mean, exotic animals and weird shit like that, it all just kind of blends together. Everything's fucking weird. So with that, though, as you're leaving the square and your back is to all the monitors and things, you guys hear a and all of the monitors bzz, 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 in the town square in Central Square, Neotaurus, all show you a visual. It looks like a creature with a crown. It's got a long pointed nose that kind of comes down in a mechanical point. These horns that kind of come off the top and curl. And this strange, I mean, it's got these skull-like teeth that with its gums exposed, this kind of grotesque looking logo. It's actually not an image, it's a logo that has appeared on the screen. And to those of you that are perceptive enough, you may notice some things about it. So go ahead and roll me a perception check as the thing shows up on the screen. Grotesque looking horns, again, that come off the top of his head. They come off into a curved hook at the front, like right above where his eyes are. And you notice that there's an extra set of horns in the back. And it has this similar mouth to a creature you've seen before. It reminds you, with your combined rolls, it reminds you of Raziel's mouth, those strange teeth that protrude from his mouth. He doesn't have lips. He looks like his head is a skull. His sunken eyes kind of in his face. He's got these mechanical overlays to his face now, and it's actually, he looks much healthier than he did the last you saw him. Just the logo itself shows a powerful creature, not one that was kind of pathetic and weak as it was before. So if you'd like to look on the stream, I'm showing you a picture here of Raziel in his 53 years later form. So you can kind of see an image of him. I'll also post it in the Discord chat later.
Okay.
So this is just an image of him. It's not
an
like
image, yeah. It's like
it's
a
not
hologram
like-
almost.
Okay. So it's not like a video of him about to talk on the screen.
No, it's not a video of him like actually moving his mouth. It's just like a video that's kind of, it's just like a logo of his face.
Yeah,
okay?
just a logo.
So you
Got
can't actually see him. You see what maybe an artist rendition of him type thing as the logo. But we did learn. Yes.
But we did learn last time that he is significantly stronger now.
Yes, yeah. Solus did hint that there was no way at your current power level that you'd ever be able to stand up to him. Not only because he's more powerful, but because he has more resources now, and he's in so much more control. But you hear a voice that says, and it echoes throughout the central square. It echoes.
People of Neotaurus, there are intruders in our city. Find them and bring them to the administration building for a large reward.
And across the screen shows a picture of Zim. Looks like it was taken just hours ago. From the picture is kind of looking down at Zim, and it looks like it was from maybe a corner of a building. So it's from a thing that you may not have noticed. But this image of you it's almost like a painting that's perfect. I mean, there's no flaws to it, and you're not sure what it is. It then flashes to Jerome, who can be seen, you can be seen forming your cannon in like a little bit of like a moving image. So it actually shows like a moving image of you, kind of goes back and forth like a GIF of you like creating your cannon. It then shows Pox, but Pox, it shows your kind of current form, but on the image, it's got a little like asterisk next to your face that says, in common, says, "May disguise self." Kithrak.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Kithrak, there is a very zoomed in picture of you, and it shows you actually running by Tony's corpse on your way out of the street there.
Tony?
Oh yes.
You guys killed a guy called Tony?
Yeah,
Listen,
That was
Tony
Isabella. That was pure
Bunny
Isabella.
killed a guy named Tony.
Tony was. We don't like to talk about Tony.
What the fuck happened to Tony? It's
Don't
such an
worry.
innocent
Don't
I should've
worry
mentioned-
about it.
You know how she likes to like collect people to like save? Yeah.
AKA kill later on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tony
Tony
was
the
a
chef.
chef. He was a chef at one of the restaurants nearby, and he'd been charmed by Isabella. She used charm person on him, and told him to lead the way out, and he did. And then he got obliterated by the police in one hit.
So he saved our life. He saved our lives then.
He kind of
No.
took a hit for the
In a way.
team, but
I mean,
not really
he was a
like, for the
distraction. He was
team.
basically a meat shield. Honestly, it was a meat shield.
And when we say he got obliterated, my man got absolutely obliterated.
He didn't stand a chance. It was painless. It was a painless death.
I'll let you guys continue. Wow, there's a lot that happened. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. So on the screen, it then shows Nara, and it does not show Solus. Solus was actually shown in the background of Jimmy's, of Kathrak's image, because he was actually running with Solus. But it did not focus on Solus. So Solus is kind of in the background, unnoticed by this piece, this thing that showed up on the television. It's not focusing on Solus, it seems. And then it shows Isabella. All of you have just been exposed to the entire city of Neotaurus. At least the people that are in the central square are now told to start looking for you. And at the bottom of this screen, in large red font, blinking, it says 200,000 credit reward, dead or alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we should take this opportunity to get off the road immediately.
Yeah. I got y'all some clothes from the shop if you wanted to change.
Let's get off the road and then have a look-see.
All right, let's go. We're going off the road ASAP to get hidden.
Like,
Okay.
Let's put
back
our hood.
alleys, like the most discreet way possible to get out of here.
Okay. So this kind of leads you down some back alleys. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, everyone. Everyone,
I
roll
have-
a stealth check.
I'm
Can we
wearing
get
the amulet
not
of
get
stealth,
plus 10
by the
anymore.
way.
Okay.
Which one's stealth? Oh, there it is.
Oh, I accidentally just slide a hand.
So you do the math for your amulet of stealth then.
Yikes.
I mean, I got a 15 anyway, so it's fine.
They're the same roll, so.
Amulet of
So-
stealth says +3. Oh, all it does is +3. So then
Yep.
I have 18.
That's what I wanted you to do. All right. Solus got a 15. Not too bad. All right. With that, let's see. Wembo and Jimmy.
Oh
Odds are
well,
even.
can I cast that again or no?
Yeah, you can. You just have to mark it off your spell slots.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that because I feel like this is a pretty like urgent situation. Yeah.
Sure.
I would agree with that statement. So all of us
Alright.
got plus 10 to it. So
Okay. So that makes the lowest roll a 17. All right. So I will roll a general perception check. Not bad. All right. So everyone's getting plus 10 to their stealth thanks to Nara. Nara, as you cast this spell, a kind of thin layer of smoke trails off of you and Solus as it kind of cloaks the party in this strange little visage as they all stay within 30 feet of you, kind of distorts you with the air around you, especially in the darkness here between alleyways and things. It's very good at distorting your vision and distorting other people's vision of you, is what I should say. So you are able to pass through the alleyways without a trace. So, with that said, Solus leads you towards a back alleyway, down a street, take a left, take a right, past Red Lobster, sniff a little bit, take another left, take another right. You are now deep kind of into the city area. Almost impossible to follow on your little maps that showed up on your cards that you have. You have those little credit cards that have the holographic maps. Those, it's just almost impossible to find even where you are anymore. But you know, you can kind of easily find where the central square is, so that can be kind of a central location for you if you need to realign yourself. But right now you're kind of lost in the back alleyways as Solus leads you to what looks like a residential district of the city, the first one you've seen. This is an area of the city that is nowhere near as built up as the Strip, as they would call it. There's not much in terms of high-tech technology back in this area. Looks like street lamps and hobbled together apartment buildings. But it doesn't look necessarily nasty or super dirty. It looks it just looks plain in this area of the city. And Solus kind of leads you through this area, some people look at you. They don't seem to have caught on to the message that was put out earlier, just a few minutes ago. They don't seem to have, I shouldn't say a few minutes ago. It's been about 30 minutes. You guys have been coming through this area, but you kind of lost everybody, and everyone seems to have not been able to follow you. But as you find your way here, people seem to not really care about your presence. They're just kind of going about their own business. You see some people bringing in groceries. You see some people that are parking little scooters and stuff in their small little garages that they have. You guys are unfamiliar with all of this. It's just very confusing and kind of strange. But Solus leads you to an apartment complex. And this place has a old-fashioned door, not one that slides open, but one you've got to actually open with like a handle. And it's got a keypad on it on the right-hand side. So it's got those numbers that are similar to those numbers that are on the back of your cards. When you kind of swipe down on the top of your card, you get those numbers that show up. It's kind of similar to that. So it's a keypad. You guys as players know what a keypad is. Solus says to Nara,
press on the button that looks like a tic-tac-toe.
And he kind of points his nose towards a keypad button that looks like a tic-tac-toe. You guys know what tic-tac-toe is. It's been around for years.
Okay.
So you tap on it, and it shows a name on the little visual area of the keypad where the kind of numbers and stuff show up. It shows a name, and you kind of start cycling through it, and you hear Solus kind of telling you,
next.
As you keep pressing the button until a name pops up that says Gimli. Gimley. Gimli Stonemorn. Gimli Stonemorn. And Solus says,
That's the one right there. Press the star key.
Star key. Okay.
so there's a little key that looks like a star. You press on it, and then you hear a beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, beep. And then it starts going. And you hear a noise from the other side of the speaker.
Yes, how can I help you?
Yeah. What did he say? He was a surgeon?
Is that talking to
An
us?
inventor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see you. And
You can see.
party of strange people.
That's very interesting. We're here to get something, hopefully, for our little lion's leg. We were told that you might be able to help with that.
Well, you don't need to yell. Wait.
I'm sorry.
Wait a moment.
The other side of the call goes quiet.
Oh shit. Should we go?
As you go to
let's-
try and open the handle, it kind of
Let's wait a moment and see.
And then about 30 seconds pass, and then you hear a and the door makes a clicking noise.
Pull
As
it.
in-
Open
oh,
it.
yes, open it.
I reached.
Okay.
I reached to open the door.
All right, you reached kind of tentatively to open the door because it did make a really loud noise, but you do grab it and open it, and the door does swing open.
Okay.
I want to check that for traps first.
Interesting. So the big beeps make the door open? What? Wait, so if I make a really loud noise, can we open doors in the city?
I don't know, but you should definitely try.
Yeah, for sure.
Solus
If we
says
can
to
open any
Nara,
door in
Hold
the
on,
city,
you guys,
just think of the.
you
let him do
guys
that.
go in.
Don't
I'm
let him do that.
gonna go outside. You guys go in while I try this really quick.
Sounds good.
Okay.
all right.
On the reels, though, we might want to keep someone outside to keep a lookout.
Look out.
Who wants to be the lookout?
Have Isabella be the look.
Let's have Isabella,
can
be the lookout.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Isabella can be the lookout.
All
She'll hang
right,
out outside.
all right. I'm outside. I'm be like, all right, close the door really quick, guys. All right. Ah! Wait, why isn't the door opening? What the? Okay, can you guys open it for me, please,
We
guys?
can leave
Try
it
it
out
again.
there with
Hey!
Isabella.
Just try it again.
Guys,
I want to see him try one more time.
You gotta hit the right pitch, I think.
Yeah, it's a tone, it's a
I don't know.
tonality thing.
I don't know if
It really comes.
my voice hurts. I don't know if I'm. Just open the door for me, guys.
So inside,
Alright.
while you guys are doing this, inside the apartment complex, so what you see when you walk into the door is stairs that go up and stairs that go down. Okay, and they're directly in front of you. And they're kind of split. So stairs go up, stairs that go down, and the stairs that go up lead to a landing, and there is a door that opens up, and kind of homely looking dude comes out. He's got a long brown beard. He's got a hemp jacket on and a beanie. And he kind of leans out, looks like a human, got a big septum ring, and he goes, "Yo, can you guys like keep it down? Trying to vibe.
You trying to what?
Trying to vibe, man.
What do you mean vibe?
Like, relax, hang out, chill.
Like vibrations?
Does that open the door?
Can you guys just shut up? That's
a
all.
tonality thing
There's
or
like-
vibration?
There's
Again, sorry.
There's like a noise policy.
Oh, well, my apologies. We apologize.
Yeah. He shuts the door. All right.
We're gonna. I'm gonna ask Solus.
Solus, which way do we go? Up and
He's
down?
already leading. He's leading up the stairs. So you guys head up the stairs. Pete, they open the door for you and you come in.
Yeah, we let you in.
Yep.
All right. So you guys head up the stairs, and you're just befuddled by the door. You're just confused and almost pissed off. It just didn't work. And you even got scolded. So
Solus, why wasn't I able to open the door with the loud noise?
he says to Nara.
It needs to be opened from the inside. Tell him that.
It needs to be open from the inside.
Oh, you gotta do the right correct pitch from the inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Solus goes,
No, Nara, no.
It's okay. Shh. It's okay. It's okay.
Just want to hear him make a fool of himself. Again.
So you guys head up the stairs and reach a door. That is door number 37. Door number 37. As you knock on it, do you remember the guy's name?
Gimli.
Yeah,
Gimli Stonemorn.
Yeah, Gimli Stonemorn. So as you knock on the door, immediately the door opens. Just immediately as you start knocking on it, it just immediately opens up. And there standing in front of you is a gnome. And he has his eyebrows are furrowed. He looks over at all of you and kind of wrinkles his nose a little bit. And then he looks past you all to Jerome and he says, "You haven't aged a day." This is the gnome that sold you the map 53 years ago. And behind him, you see his two robots now rusted and decaying, making him some food in the kitchen.
Gimli, brother! Because I remember this from way back then. I go and I come give him a hug. Come give me a hug, man. It's been years, and I go in and give him a hug.
Okay, so as you go to like hug him, he pulls out a large-looking rifle off his back and points it at you and starts backing away.
What? Wait, why are you? I thought we were friends, man.
Everyone just relax. He looks old
that
now.
got awkward very quick, didn't it?
Yeah, he looks old now. He already looked old before, but now he looks even older. He's so he's even shorter than Jerome. He is very kind of pale gray skinned. He now has a big white bushy beard and mustache that come down and kind of connect under his chin. He's bald on the top of his head, and he's wearing kind of homely looking clothes, but they're not homely in terms of their make. They actually look very nice. They look like they're made of silk and like merchant garb, but they look old, like they haven't been washed or taken care of. And so they look like nice clothes that have just been beaten up.
Gimli!
And yeah, he points the weapon at you and he says, Why
Why haven't you? None of you.
He says, explain.
Are you sure you want the explanation?
It's a long story. It's
Wibbly
a
wobbly,
very,
timey-wimey stuff.
very long story.
I don't know what to say.
You can start by not pointing the rifle at, or the hand cannon at us.
Well, I can't trust. I must be dreaming.
No, you're
I'm
not
dreaming.
dreaming.
Can you fix the leg?
Gimli, you remember how we just completely disappeared?
All I remember is the city being destroyed. I recognize Jerome. I could not forget him. He was animated. He was kind. A bit self-righteous.
Hey, I still got that map you gave me too. I still got the map you gave me. I pull out the map and I show it to him.
So yeah, he sold you the makings to make your own map because
I show him the map. I show him the map that I drew. Like, remember I drew this? I drew this because you showed me how to make the map. You remember this?
He kind of closes his eyes and puts the rifle on his back and he says, "I remember."
Wow.
Okay. Come in. His place is small, so you guys all kind of barely fit in there. But as you come in, it is looks like a 2-bedroom apartment. So there's a kitchen, there's a living room, and then there's like 2 bedrooms off to the side. It doesn't look too terribly bad, but it definitely is a bit small. The 2 bedrooms look like they could only fit like a bed and maybe a nightstand in them. They're not super big. They don't have closets. The kitchen is small. The 2 robots that are cooking in it are old and not so well taken care of. They've got kind of rust holes in them and things like that. Around the apartment, there looks like these just half-made contraptions here and there, just laying about. One on a coffee table, one on the kitchen counter, one on the kitchen table. As you kind of peek around the corner, Kithrak, you see like a couple of them laying on his bed. There is a mechanical dog that is has like a rope around its neck, not like that, but like a leash.
Named Goddard.
It's not named Goddard. Bark, bark. But it is so the rope is kind of tied around its neck like a leash, and then the other end of the rope is tied around the leg of the kitchen table, and it's kind of laying under the kitchen table. It looks like it is not moving or breathing or anything. It's mechanical.
Can I just go? Can I go just like play? Can I go tinker on something really quick and just like fuck around with something? Is that like a perception or what?
Well, you probably, I don't know if your character would immediately do that in this situation. Thinking about it, like, you know, you probably want to talk with this guy a little bit. To get his outlook on this.
I feel like I'd be like, oh, what is this? I'd be like, and I like start like poking something. Come on, you know that's Jerome.
Yeah. You definitely would be super curious about the stuff, but I think that Jerome would also like understand the gravity of the situation.
All right.
You need to get out of this.
Understandable.
Yeah, but you would definitely be curious. You'd be fighting your urge, just go and just grab everything and start tinkering with it. But he says, what brings you here? You said you wanted me to fix something or make something? What?
Yeah. We don't actually know. Solus, my, line here. I guess his leg, how long has it been?
Solus says that it's been over 30 years since he's had
30
it replaced.
years since he's had this replaced, and I was hoping that maybe you could, fix it up, and I'll pay you what it would cost.
Oh, well, I'll let me take a look at it. Maybe, let me see.
And he kind of leans down and looks at the leg. He takes his kind of little gloved hands and he runs it along the edge of the leg. And as he gets to the joint where the knee would normally be, he kind of takes the tip of his finger and flicks a little bit of the, flicks on the knee and makes like a ding sound. And he flicks again near like the ankle and it makes like a ding sound, and he's like listening to it really closely. He then has these goggles that are kind of on the top of his head that he brings down and puts on his eyes, and then he flips down these bifocals that are in front of them and like zooms kind of in on the edge of the leg. And he says, "Yes, this is shoddy makesmanship. Let me see. Solus, this may sting." And he takes the leg and takes like the foot area of the leg and kind of bends it upward. You see Solus kind of squint a little bit. He gives like a small growl, like a and the gnome here kind of furrows his eyebrows. He says, I think I can maybe give him at least something that could be better than this shitty work. Who made this?" And he kind of he asks you who made the leg.
It was Crank the Goblin.
I've met Solus once before, many years ago. Solus, you remember? You led them here. Solus kind of nods his head. As he starts tinkering with Solus's leg, he starts taking it apart. So he grabs a screwdriver off of his counter. You guys watch as he reaches up onto his counter without looking past the two robots and almost puts his hand directly on the heated stove, but just barely misses it and grabs the like screwdriver that's like half on the stove, half off, and picks it up and then begins unscrewing pieces of the leg that's on Solus. You watch Solus kind of squint and furrow, and Gimli begins talking to himself and to you guys as he says, "Yes, 30 years ago, that was the last time we had a meeting at the old leaky keg. Well, not much of the resistance around anymore. They've all kind of given up." And he kind of continues unscrewing the leg.
Why, you part of the resistance?
The resistance?
He kind of, as you guys say that, he kind of goes shh as he's kind of unscrewing, and he unscrews the last screw, and as he does, you watch the leg where it's connected to Solus's flesh. It starts to kind of peel off a little bit, and Solus lets out like a grunt, and Gimli says to Nara, hold him tightly."
Okay, I do.
Okay. As you do, I would like you and anyone else who's helping Nara to roll me a strength check, as Gimli is going to pull the leg off of Solus.
Probably have Kathrak help too.
Yeah, Kathrak's got it.
Oh, I have like -1 strength.
Yeah, a lot of people
-1 strength too. Yeah.
I think most of us do actually.
Kathrak will carry it.
Am I rolling strength here?
Yeah, roll me a
Yes.
strength check.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, I thought that was.
Damn it.
Let's see what Jimmy gets. Okay. Those are really bad rolls. All right. That's all right. So
Wait, did I roll the right thing? Because I rolled a strength save. Is that?
You didn't, but that's.
I think I rolled the wrong.
You roll me a strength
Hang on.
check. Roll me a strength check. So click on the top left in the little
Just
It's
if
the
you click
ones
right
across
button.
the top.
very top
Oh,
left. Okay.
That's
you got to
That's
be
fine.
kidding me, dude.
It's fine.
Jesus.
So, what's gonna happen is, as Gimli pulls the leg, Solus lets out a loud grunt and a roar as he kind of jerks up, his shoulder blades tense up, and he like almost attempts to stand and roll and try and get away as you are all kind of on top of him. Nara, he kind of like slams you into the counter with his shoulder by accident, and you're gonna take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as he slams you into the counter.
I'm just seeing, like, I could just picture it in my mind, like everybody on top, like getting slug about.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to think about.
The counter gets cracked as you get slammed into that. Zim, you get pushed back into the table, and you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Wembo, you get like slammed into Zim, who gets slammed into the table, and you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. And Jimmy and Jerome, You guys both fall backwards and take no bludgeoning damage. You fall
Let's
backwards into the like living room area.
Oh yeah.
Ow, my butt. Oh,
My butt's too thick to take damage.
So as Gimli pulls the leg off of Solus, there is no blood or anything like that, but there is what looks like cauterized and exposed flesh where it was attached, and no fur growing there, no hairs, and you actually see some exposed nerve endings as well, coming out of the end of his leg. And Gimli says, "All right, we'll only have to do that one more time when we reattach it." Solus kind of settles down and he apologizes to you, Nara.
It's okay. I'm fine. It's okay.
As that happens, Gimli says, "Now, what was your question?" As he takes the leg and he puts it on the kitchen table and begins kind of taking it apart.
Oh, I was just wondering if you're part of the R word that I'm not allowed to say.
Yes, well, you can rest assured that there is no prying ears or eyes in my...
Oh, okay, resistance, you kind of made a kerfuffle.
Yes, well, the resistance, as I said, have not been around for a long time. What is it you want to know?
We were hoping we could, elicit their services a little bit.
Impossible, he says as he cracks open the leg and starts taking some wires and pulling them out. He takes these wire cutters and strips the yellow and green wires, strips the plastic outer shell of them off so that the exposed copper is there, and he kind of ties them together. He then takes the leg and just completely breaks off the rest of the rusted metal and shitty, almost aluminum that it seems to be kind of made out of. And he points over to Jerome and he says, "Jerome, in my room, around this corner, there is a mannequin leg. I want you to grab that and bring it here."
Got it. On it.
Okay. So as you go into the room, go ahead and roll me a perception check, as his room is a cluttered fucking mess.
Shouldn't be too hard. It's a big mannequin leg. I should be able to find that. I know what I know what a mannequin arm looks like, so I should know what a mannequin leg looks like.
Yeah. So as you're looking around, you do find a leg that is kind of draped over his nightstand. The bent knee is kind of draped over the top of the nightstand, and the foot is kind of resting on his bed. The thigh area is resting off the side of it, and it looks large. Looks like a large mannequin leg, and it looks like it's actually made of nicer metal. So it looks like it's made of what could be iron, could be a different metal. You're not sure, but as you go to lift it up, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check with advantage. So go ahead and hit shift when you or whatever. There you go. Okay, it was 21.
Oh god, thank God.
So as you lift up this leg, you realize it's made of tungsten, which is a very, very heavy metal. Very heavy metal, but malleable and usable and very dense. So as you pick it up, it's heavy, but you're able to carry it.
I wouldn't know it's made of tungsten, right?
You would know. That's why you rolled the intelligence check.
I know it's tungsten.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. You know that it's tungsten. Yep. You now know that it's a tungsten.
Oh,
leg.
that's a lot of tungsten. I haven't seen this much here before. Jesus.
So it's not completely made out of tungsten, but it looks like it is plated with tungsten, which is a very powerful metal. So you drag it into the kitchen and hoist it up onto the table. He says, "Thank you." And he takes it and he uses his screwdriver to unscrew the plates on it and kind of take it apart. And as he does, he takes the original wires that were kind of connected with Solus's leg and he attaches them inside this new kind of tungsten shell. And then he says, "You two, make yourselves useful. Come over here." And he points to Zim and Kathrak.
While that's happening, I'm going to ask him, do you mind telling me... do you mind talking about kind of what you're doing here? Because I have no idea what's happening right now. Like what's this leg made out of? It looks like tungsten. What's going on in this leg here?
Sharp eye you've got there. Yes, it is plated with tungsten. he says as Zim and Kathrak come over, and he says, "You, the one with the muscles, lion. What was your name?" Kathrak, yes. What I need you to do is I need you to clamp these two edges of the leg together. And he points to kind of like the thigh area of the leg. And he's telling you to, like, with your strength, kind of clamp them together so that he can put the screws in. He's already put all the wires and the insides into this thing. So he's having you hold that. And then he says to Zim, "And you, please hold the foot straight. We don't want it to get bent in the wrong direction while I'm screwing this in."
Most certainly.
And then he says to Pox, he says, "And you over there, would you peek out of my door real quick and make sure that nobody's following you?"
Yeah. Peek out.
Okay. So as you kind of look out the door, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Kathrak, roll me a strength check, and Zim, roll me a dexterity check. So with that perception, Pox, you see down the stairs, you see that kind of like hippie looking dude who came out and told you to be quiet before. He is now sitting on the steps smoking some kind of pipe. It looks strange. And he's just kind of blowing the smoke up the steps, and he kind of looks at you and he gives you one of these peace signs. But you don't see anyone that seems to have followed you. Zim, with your dexterity check, you're able to hold the foot in place and keep it from getting turned in any weird directions. And Kathrak, as you're kind of holding the thigh pieces together and he's screwing them in, it's exceptionally heavy. And holding them together is actually kind of difficult, and it's less because you're not strong. It's more because, like, lining up the screw holes is hard. And so it takes a little longer for him. That's kind of what this check was for, is how long is it going to take to make this leg. Just takes a little bit longer for him to line it up and get it all set up. But he does thank you for your help. Same with you, Zim. Pox, what do you do to tell him? What do you tell him when you come back in?
I just kind of look. I just
give
kind
him a
of
thumbs up.
Thumbs up, and yeah. Okay. I mean, if he asks, like,
he nods. He just nods when he thumbs up.
Somebody's smoking. Yeah.
All right. So you guys watch as he continues to tinker with the leg. He actually takes the calf area of the leg, which would be normally too long for the lion, and he kind of shortens it just a little bit so that it's more Solus's height. So you see he kind of cuts through some of the metal with this sharp blade, and then reattaches the foot, re-screws it on, adds a little bit of a contraption to screw on some more plating. And in the end, he's created a mannequin leg with a very thick thigh matching about the size of Solus's. It's a little bit smaller, but not too much. The calf area, so like below the knee, is just like almost the perfect length. He actually goes and measures Solus's calf just to make sure that it's as close as he possibly can. And then he actually says, yes, Nara. Yes, that was your name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's what I'd like you to do.
Okay.
I would like you to go into the guest room, which is across from my room. And in there actually is a slew of animal feet that you can choose from. And they're all different kinds. So why don't you go in there and pick one that you think would be best for Solus?
Okay, so, I'm not going to question why there's animal feet, but okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
So when you open the door, you're like expecting to see like some gross shit, but what you actually see is mechanical animal feet. So you see hooves, mechanical dog feet, mechanical lion claws, mechanical bird feet, things like that.
Yeah. And
so he says, each different foot has its use, so choose wisely. And he kind of lets you kind of have free reign. You would know that Solus would want to have like a lion's foot, but you also notice that Gimli, he's an inventor. He wants to see weird shit, so he's hoping that you'll pick like a weird foot, but you're probably gonna pick the lion foot because that's what Solus would want.
Is there anything interesting in here to like make the,
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
If anyone else would like to roll an investigation check of just his area, just like Gimli's apartment, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
I see nothing.
I came with
nothing in
Nara,
particular,
I came
no.
with Nara. I came with Nara to look at the legs.
Okay.
I came with Nara to look at the legs.
Dude, my rolls, man. I'm gonna lose it.
Okay,
Unlucky today.
Pete rolled all things underneath 10 for like the first
You're a little stressed.
hour and a
Githrak,
half.
It's okay.
It's okay. What's important is I'm the one. I'm the inventor in the group, so this works out very well. I will gladly. I will. What's it called? Carry this investigation.
So in here, Pete, the thing you notice, I think, that's most interesting is that any animal you can think of, you can find like a mechanical version of its feet here. And as you're opening up drawers and kind of looking through stuff, you notice that the bottom drawer of one of the tool cabinets is locked in this room. And as you kind of try to open it up, it looks like it's locked with a keypad. And so, looking at it, it looks like a tool chest, like one that you would normally, keep your tools in back in your own, lab or your own workshop, wherever you normally worked or wherever you apprenticed. But it seems, anything that's locked kind of piques your interest. And in this case, in a room full of like mechanical pieces for robots, whatever's in here is either important or valuable or something. And Gimli doesn't seem like the kind of person who would openly talk to you about what's in it, but you might be able to discuss whatever it is. So it piques your interest.
Before that, though, can I try to guess a code number?
Sure.
Boob.
So 8008.
That's from Rust.
Yes.
No luck.
6969.
All right, now take damage. Now start hitting. Take 3. Start taking 3 from it.
Come on.
So you put in 6969?
I got a nat 20. Wait, I got a nat 20 from my investigation. Were there any numbers in the room that gave me like any sort of potential ideas to what the code could be?
Realistically, no. So
Wait,
I only told you about the lockbox because of your natural 20. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about it.
Last try though. Last try. This is my last try. Gimli, what year did the city burn down? We know that year, right? What is it, guys?
It was the same year that you guys left. Which would have been 1540.
15, yeah.
1540?
Okay. You try 1540, no luck.
Really? Come on, that would have been such a good one for the resistance. All right, whatever. What are numbers that the resistance would like? Come on, guys. I can
Do we just see him over there
think he's gonna
bucking with
give
the
this to you.
keypad?
Yeah, some of you guys do. It seems like Gimli doesn't notice.
Jerome, stop touching stuff that don't belong to you.
All right, fine. Hey, all right, I'm gonna walk over to Gimli. So, hey, Gimli, do you mind if we ask? With all the legs around, I noticed you have a locked toolbox. Do you have some cool items in there, or what's going on?
Yeah, he's kind of looking past you, waiting for Nara to come back with the lion's foot.
Oh,
She
yeah,
does.
I'm coming. I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah. So she brings back the lion's foot. He looks a little disappointed as he grabs it, and then he kind of looks up to you, Jerome, and he says, what was that? Sorry.
So we noticed while looking at the animal feet that there was a locked toolbox. Do you have some cool items in there that you just don't really want to show?
Nosy as always. He says as he attaches the foot onto the end of the calf area of this new leg that he's created. He says, yes, well, down there we have a couple prototypes. Special things I've been working on. Gasoline and fuel powered.
Gasoline
what is
and
that?
fuel powered what? Legs?
Feet, actually.
Wait.
I call them propulsion feet.
Nara, you cannot attach a lion's foot. This sounds crazy cool.
You said prototype though. Like I'm not trying to have an exploding foot on my.
Would you be willing to use the prototype for
Wait, why don't we just cut your foot off, Jerome?
And then you can
Everyone
have a
else in the
prototype
city
for
has
it.
cut off appendages.
I would not be able to help actually attach the nerve endings of Jerome's foot if you did that. I'm having to use the shoddy work of this previous person to even work with Solus.
Unfortunate.
I'm not a doctor.
How well do these propulsion feet work?
I have not actually been able to try them very well. But I could part with one for 100 credits.
So would these propulsion feet be good and useful for fighting? What would these be useful for?
Well, if you had a mechanical companion or something, you could it could fly maybe with it.
Nara.
With one foot?
Solus can fly with 1 foot.
Would he need all 4 feet? Though?
It would probably not work on Solus.
Never mind then.
But there is something that it might work on that you could add to
That
your
dog.
tool belt, Jerome.
Oh my god! I'm buying. Can I please buy this off? To use this for my cannon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
so you could add it to your pieces that you use to make your cannons, and when you make your cannons now, you can choose whether or not it's a flying cannon.
Okay, so let me go pay him really quick. What? So that's all of my that's like all of my credits, but it's worth it. I'm giving it to him. All right. These are all the credits that I have. But this sounds cool as hell. Would you be able to show me how to attach this to my cannon?
I'm not an expert on your cannon, but I'm sure you can figure it out. That it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
But yeah, let's do this after we fix up Solus.
We'll do this. We'll do this after. All right. So I now have flying cannon power. Cool.
So you sorry. All right, so Gimli takes the new leg and kind of hovers it near Solus's exposed nerve endings, and he says, "All right, everyone, can we hold him a little better this time?"
I'll try.
I mean, we'll try.
Solus kind of closes his eyes and
I'm
squints.
running another strength check here
Yes.
because I'm about to.
I'll let you do athletics. I'll let everyone do athletics if you want.
It's the same thing for me.
Yeah, if you're proficient in athletics, roll athletics.
Goddamn Jimmy.
The look into the camera. It's actually better though. Jerome, are you gonna help?
I'm studying the propulsion thing, so
Okay.
I'm probably not helping.
All right, sounds good. Okay, with that, let's see, 16, 9, 5, and 11. Okay, you guys are able to hold him down pretty well with your combined rolls. I'll give it to you. So, as Gimli approaches Solus, Solus already kind of recoils in pain from what he's experiencing already. But Gimli, actually a pretty nice fellow, kind of puts his hand on Solus's fur on his back, and he says, "It's all right. It's all right. It's gonna be all right. It's just gonna take a second. You're gonna be okay. Here, on the count of 3. 1, 2," and he like attaches it to Solus's thigh, and Solus gives out a grunt and kind of pushes you close to the counter again, Nara, like you're about to get slammed into it, but not quite. And you guys watch as Solus has his eyes squinted closed. He opens them up so you can see his big emerald green eyes. He blinks a few times, and you see the legs start to kind of twitch a little bit. The foot kind of the claws of the toes kind of on the floor, tapping on the floor. He then bends it as it makes just a slight sound. As Gimli says, all right, don't get too hasty. Just give me a second here. Let's oil this thing up. And he gets out this little oil can from under his fridge, or not under his fridge, under his oven. He kind of opens up the oven, takes out this little oil pan, and takes a little paintbrush, and then kind of paints a little oil inside the crevices of the leg. He says, "You're gonna want to re-oil this thing at least once a month for it to stay working properly. So I'll tell you where you can buy some oil if that's something you need." But,
okay.
Yes. This should be much better. It's not going to be perfect, but it should support his weight. Why don't you try standing up, Solus? And Solus kind of gets up slowly with his 3 good legs, and he is not putting almost any pressure on his back leg yet, just enough to keep him balanced. But then he lets it down on the floor. The metal claws kind of tap against the tile in the kitchen here. And he stands there for a moment, majestically, kind of looks over at Nara, and then he takes the back leg and brings it up, and he kind of puts it up and down, and it looks pretty good. It looks like it's holding his weight, as he then tests it out by going onto his hind legs, and lets himself kind of stand on his hind legs. He kind of crawls up the side of the wall a little bit, you know what I mean, like with his hand, like with his front paws, just a little bit. And waits there. And it seems like it's working pretty well. It seems like you've got a nice fix here. Gimli says, "You don't need to pay me for that. It's fine."
Are you sure?
But this you need to pay me for. And he pats Jerome on the shoulder and takes him into the foot room. And he leans down to the keypad for the foot room, Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts in the code 42069 boob.
What?
I was actually going to say that. I was going to say that.
Pathetic. Can I tell you a secret? Gimli?
Oh, sure. He says as he slides it open.
I might have tried to guess the code boob before I left the room.
He laughs. He goes, "A man of culture, I see."
Fist bump. I give him a little fist bump.
He fist bumps you. We're not so different, you and I. So as he slides the door open, there's 2 propulsion engines down here. And they look like claws. So they look like claws that you might have, or you might see on like a claw machine. So they kind of look like, grabby top-down claws. And at the bottom, in the middle, is a little propulsion jet engine.
That's dope.
In the side of them is a small port for you to put gasoline and fuel of some kind. Gasoline and or fuel of some kind. And the foot itself is about as big as your head. So it's big. Okay. It looks like it would be able to hold the weight of your cannon pretty well. And if you add it to your pieces that make up your cannons, you should be able to make a flying cannon with it. It's going to be a bit more finicky to control than the climbing normal that it does. And it also is prone to running out of fuel. And if it runs out of fuel, which I'll be keeping track of as commander, it has a... I'll give you warning signs, so I'll tell you, I'm not going to like surprise you with it. I'm not going to be like, "Oh, now it's out. Oh, it's perfect and now it's out." It's not going to be like that. It's going to have a warning sign of something. Whether it's that it's not flying quite as high or, there's some kind of little alarm or something. But either way, if you don't fill it up with fuel, when I give you that warning sign, it's possible that the next time you use it, that cannon's going to fall out of the air at some point from running out of gas. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Roger.
Okay. So with that, you've got a couple more things to keep track of here. Nara, you've got to keep track of Solus's leg oil. Make sure that's oiled up, and I will be keeping track of that. I doubt that it's going to come up very often, but it's just something to think about. And once you buy oil, I'll just assume that you're not keeping track of it. Like, you don't have to keep track of it at that point. Once you guys have some oil that you can use to grease those hinges.
Hey, Gimli.
Yeah.
Question for you. Did the Resistance have any old pathways out of the city that no one knew about?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if any of them are around anymore, but there might be.
I don't suppose you could tell us where those are, would you?
I think, yeah, show me your map. I'll point it out to you on your map.
What about members? Are there any members left?
Not that I'm aware of. They've all escaped Neotaurus and went back to their homes, wherever they are.
Do you know if there was any resistance anywhere else on the continent?
Yes, I'm not very sure of. I'm sorry. I wish I could be of
What
more
happened?
help, but
Can you tell us what happened?
they gave up. They gave up. It seemed hopeless, and this is the place I'm able to make my money, and it's cheap living, and nobody bothers me, and I like to keep an eye on old Raziel, just to see what's up. So that's the only reason I'm still here. The other people, I would say they're probably much smarter than I.
Any chance you want to leave the city now?
Leave it now.
It's gonna get messy, I think, eventually.
It's already messy, kid.
Well, I think it's gonna get worse.
I don't have anywhere to go or any reason to leave, so.
Hey,
Do you have any other questions I can answer for you? I'll show you on your map here where the last time I remembered there being a spot is.
We need to be able to replicate transformation magic.
Transformation magic.
Would you be able to change how we look physically?
I
would
don't want
not.
to change the way that I look.
I would not be able to do that, no.
Do you know if that's possible? Because we are being hunted in the city.
Hunted, yes. Well, you all never really explained what was going on. Can you?
Oh yeah. So can we just like pretend we give him the full TL? Like let's just give him the full TLDR of the story.
Sure. But I want you to explain what happened in Raziel's lab to him.
Oh, okay.
As a player, to see what you would say.
Who's got it?
You know that creature that's on the emblems that you guys have?
Yes, Raziel.
Well, Raziel, we fought him 53 years ago, pretty much on yesterday's date.
You fought him?
Yes.
And you lived?
Well, kind of. Some of us lived. What he did as we were fighting him is he functionally threw us to today. Well, yesterday. He threw us through time to yesterday.
He forced you into a space-time continuum?
I don't know what that means.
It's only been a few days for us. It's not
literally 3 days ago. We were in 53 years ago.
That explains so much. And he starts like ruffling through drawers in his kitchen. He opens up one drawer. It looks like a junk drawer with all kinds of papers in it. And he rips out some papers from the drawer and he slams it onto the counter and he starts swiping through the pages. They're all covered in coffee stains and grease and shit like that. And he's flipping through the pages, pulls one up, and he says, I made this when I was how many years ago was that? 40 years ago. And he kind of shows you a piece of paper that has a lot of math on it. And at the top of it, it says time travel theories in common. And he says, I've been thinking about this for 50 years. Oh. And here you are. It explains so much. Look at you. And he comes over to Jerome and he kind of puts his hands on Jerome's face. There's a little bit of grease on your cheeks now, Jerome. As he's got his he runs his fingers down your cheeks. And he's like, look at you. You haven't aged a day.
Hey, hold on there, Gimli. I save that kind of touching for the ladies. You know what I'm
saying? He kind of laughs. He says, so it does exist. It is possible. Oh, that's just. I I do need to go. There's someone I need to speak to.
Oh, well, maybe you could show us out.
Yes, yes.
Actually, you might not want to travel with us. Raziel is looking for us currently.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
yeah, do you know how we'd be able to stay hidden from?
Yeah, because we don't have the ID thing that people have. We don't have one of those.
Wait. Do you know about time travel? What do you mean you've got theories since you were a young boy? Who do you need to speak to? Do you know about this?
I've only had thoughts. I've never actually thought it was possible.
I think thought since we left is what.
Can you send people back in time?
Theoretically, yes. If you can send them forward in time, you can send them back in time. That would make total sense.
Do you know who can help us go back in time?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I need to speak with someone in Drudgemore, a friend of mine.
Oh, Drudgemore. That's actually one of the places I wanted to go to.
It's a long trek from here, but you guys aren't going to want to take the public transit there. That's extremely dangerous if they're looking for you.
What is public transit?
Well, there's a large train that runs from here to Drudgemore.
What's a train? 53
you know what a
years
train
ago.
Is. You do know what a train is. You know what a train is. It's there was some steam powered.
No, was there?
Yeah, some steam powered like locomotive prototypes, but they were not travel trains. You're not allowed to get on a train and travel them. It was not a thing. It was to bring coal from place to place, things like that. So, and it was very, very rare. It was something that you've heard about, I'll say. Something you've heard about. So you know ish what he means by train. You know ish what he means. You've probably never seen one in real life.
Okay, so we can take away that. Yeah, we don't want to take public transit. That's anything related to public, probably not a good idea, truth be told.
Yes.
That's why I was asking about the back way out of the city.
Yes, and I can show you that. I can show you how to get out of the city. It's not a problem.
But one of the ideas I was thinking of is, what if we got sent back to right when he sent us here? Like, if we went back in time to the exact moment where he threw us all through the portal, because he was pretty beaten up. Me and Jerome definitely had him on his last legs.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yep. Yeah, we did.
No,
Yep.
We definitely did.
We did. Yeah.
I'm not over exaggerating like Jerome is.
I don't know. The
You
more
don't sound
Jerome
very
says it, the more the more Jerome says it, the more I feel like you guys really didn't do a lot of damage to him.
And I'm telling you.
I don't know. Now you kind of seem like you're trying to back it up a lot. I don't know, man. What really happened? What?
He was on his last legs. I just smacked him in the face with my stick.
He really was showing some wear and tear, but he was not giving up his overconfident, pompous attitude. But he was showing some cuts and bruises, and you were doing some damage. He definitely needed to throw you guys into the future to survive that encounter.
Oh.
So anyway,
did you want to say something, Whip? I don't know if you were muted. I thought I saw your mouth move. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
So that might be an option to take care of Razio. I don't really want to go back in the past, truth be told. I kind of like the new future.
Being hunted down by animated big drawings that move?
Well, I mean, I was
Listen.
being hunted before.
He has a point. We have Red Lobster now. Like, do we really need to go?
Oh, lobster's always red.
No.
I don't know. It smelled amazing when we walked past, though.
So you said the city was destroyed when we left. Does that mean the entire city was leveled? What even happened to the
It's been destroyed and rebuilt several times.
Twice to be specific, yes.
You think Razia's
what happened
old
the
base
second
would be there?
time?
You think his old lab?
What happened the
You think
second
his old
time?
lab is?
No chance. There's no way that he would rebuild in the same spot. He's clever.
Would he build on top, or would he have left?
I
He's also
I didn't
arrogant.
know this. I didn't know this about Raziel before you told me. I didn't know that he had
What's he
done this.
doing?
This
What's he up
explains-
to?
This
What's he doing
explains a
now?
lot. Yeah, he's he came back not too long ago. Let's see. That was wow, time does fly when you're old. Almost 30 years ago. About the time the resistance broke up. They broke up 5 years after he came back. And the thing is, he came back and took everything over, and it seems like he knew everything. It seems like he knew exactly where everyone was and everyone's weaknesses. He knew exactly where to go and who to talk to gain power. He rose to the top so quickly, it almost like it happened overnight.
Wait,
he came
what
out
if
of
he's
nowhere.
been
No one
jumping
even
back
knew
and
who he
forth?
was.
Yeah, but who had control before? Like, what do you? I don't understand.
Well, it was just the guards of Taurus.
He knew the lottery numbers.
It was
So
the
he was
same-
in control, and then he left, and then 30 years later came back, and now he's back in.
No. He leveled the city,
never
left. They rebuilt. He came back again, leveled it again.
Oh, so he doesn't actually want to be leader. He's just like, oh.
So here's how it happened. 53 years ago, almost to this day, the city was leveled to a large explosion that happened in the palace. It erupted the mountainside from the inside out, crumbled it from the inside out, leveling the entire city. And almost nothing survived. A lot of people were able to get out because the guards were very diligent at getting people out through the front gates. But anyone in the palace or around the palace would have had to have died. Then we rebuilt as a city. We rebuilt together. Just as any city would do. The guards came back and we protected each other and rebuilt the city, and then about 20 years or so, everything was fine. And then Raziel showed up, and he brought with him his technology and his wonder and his hope for people. And they latched onto it and brought him forward. His power was immense. He knew so much. He knew exactly what was going to happen. He was like a prophet. And this explains so much.
So he's been jumping back and forth within time.
It's possible that he has been. And
Do you think that maybe he wants to like level the city again?
I don't think so. I think he's got it exactly where he wants it. And now that you've arrived, I think he's nervous. He hasn't had anyone standing up to him in the last
30
years. Yeah. He's been growing and growing in power, and now that you're here, I think he was probably... Think of it this way. If you were him, would you want to risk going forward into the future? A future where you might already be defeated? Well, he probably hasn't gone past this state. He probably hasn't gone forward into the future. That would make sense to me.
Why doesn't he just go back in the past and kill us as babies?
That, I'm not sure.
That's what I would have done.
That's an interesting question.
did
Because
the
then we
idea-
wouldn't have existed, and so then he would never have gone in the past to stop our existence as
Zim,
babies, and then
Zim, before he threw us in, before he threw the two of us in,
Yeah.
he talked about how we always played as cats, and we were always killing mice, and now it's our turn to be the mice. I think Raziel wants to play a game with us. That's why he didn't kill us as we were babies. He wants to make us think we have a chance.
I mean, he is prideful. I did get that when I was in Narthic form.
He is prideful, that is true.
And arrogant.
And a bitch.
And ugly.
Many people in the city do not
Find him
dislike
repulsive.
Raziel. They do not dislike Raziel.
Yeah, well.
He has
It
done
would be a
lot
good
for them,
dictator if he was hated.
but he does rule with an iron fist.
So my plan is we get out of this city, we try to find anyone who's willing to fight against Raziel, then we come back and make a kerfuffle, as well as hopefully find some actual magic that we can actually kill him with. The good
Seems
thing
like you
is
have
I
a
know
death wish.
Dredgemore, at least before we left, was run by functionally a bunch of gangs, and I don't think that they quite literally gave up all their control to Razia.
And that's why I'm headed there.
Well, that also means they probably have things that can kill Razia.
They probably also have things that can kill you.
True. Hopefully they don't remember me, though. That's what I'm hoping. 53 years is a very long time.
Sure.
I mean, he did remember me, so. Or Gimli did remember me, so.
I'm hoping they all died of old age, truthfully. Or the job. The job is pretty dangerous.
True. Anyone that you might have encountered is probably not working the same jobs anymore, so.
So Kathrak, I'm not sure what your character is thinking, but going home, I'm curious to know kind of what Kathrak would be thinking about going back to Drudgemore, where if anyone's that you knew is still alive, they'd be elderly or at least, somewhat much older, in their 70s or, 60s at least.
Right. I think my guy's probably just kind of nervous about, probably family members being dead and whatnot, and what the state of the area that I lived in is in.
Yeah.
Because I
don't
think
know if
until now
that's-
we were probably unaware of or my character's probably unaware of whether or not Raziel's influence kind of reached that far.
Yeah. So that is something that, as players, you guys can kind of start revealing a little bit of your, your backstories to each other. Start thinking about how you would imagine your characters grew up. Zim and Kathrak, you guys grew up close to each other, just without knowing it. You lived in the same city. You guys know all the same landmarks. You know all the same people. Except for the shadowy people that hide in the shadows. But the main people of the city. The history of the city. A lot about each other's gang. And so that is something that you guys can maybe discuss, since I don't think we have discussed it much yet as players. And if it's not something that your character would ever talk about, that's fine too. I would just assume that it would come up at some point. You know what I mean? So that's something that you guys can kind of think about. But with that, Gimli looks like he is already packing. He takes his papers from his kitchen drawer and jams them into a leather satchel. And he taps on the back of his two robots that are making food. And as he taps on their backs, they both kind of turn and look at him. And he gives them some orders in Gnomish. So, Jerome, you understand him?
Yep.
As he basically tells them, all right, you go here and you grab this thing, and you go here and make sure to lock this, and grab this out of this thing, and don't forget to turn that thing off, please. And he's kind of like giving them orders.
Wow. These robots have brains?
My specialty lies in the inner workings of these constructs. And so the outside, he kind of knocks on the outside. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of shoddy. I haven't replaced it in a long time. But the insides, I've done a lot of research on the insides of these things. They respond to my vocal commands, the inflection of my voice, and you'll notice I was pointing. They respond to where I point to.
You're going to have to teach me some of this stuff sometimes, Gimli. This is crazy.
Well,
this is revolutionary
if
stuff.
If you've got 40 years to learn, sure. So he continues packing up his stuff. He opens up a small closet that's in the living room that looks like a coat closet. He opens that up and puts on a small coat. Peacoat. And after he continues packing, Solus is still kind of messing with his leg and using it to kind of scratch himself a little bit. He actually cuts himself a little bit with his sharp new nails, and he kind of gives out a chuckle. He says to Nara,
Thank you, Nara.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And you guys continue kind of watching him fix up his room, complete it, put everything away. Looks like he's not taking much. He's just taking a satchel and his jacket and a few extra pairs of clothes. And that's about it. So he comes to the front door and he says, well, I'll show you guys to the way out of the city, but I like I said, you probably don't want to take the train to Dredgemore. You're probably going to want to find another way.
Yes, I assume we'd walk.
And as for disguising yourselves, that's up to you. There are shops all around the city here that you can stop at if you want before you leave, or
What
can
would be
risk
the
it.
best way? What would be the best way to disguise ourselves? What do you think we should do? Just clothing, or
well, if you can find magic that can do it, I mean, that's very powerful. But other than that, cutting your hair or changing your clothes.
Isabella has a kit
Yes.
to disguise people, so
Oh, sure,
she could put some
and
makeup on
things.
us and stuff like that.
Yes. of
What
course.
are alternate ways of transportation though? Just walking? Like how far away is it?
By train, it's 12 hours. On foot.
That's fast. Isn't it a month?
On foot, it would take probably. It depends on how quick you go, but if you rush your way there and stop only on the trail, it'd probably take you 3 or 4 months.
oh my god.
Okay, for the train, we have to have IDs, like our ID number.
Yes, they will ask for your ID.
We don't have those.
Well, your other option is you could try and procure yourself another kind of vehicle.
Could you make us fake IDs?
Is there someone in this city who can make fake IDs?
Oh, I'm sure. There's a lot of underground markets here in the city, but you'd need to find someone who
Wait,
sympathetic to your cause and willing to put their life on the line for you.
Pete, don't you know someone who did some slightly illegal stuff? You ran across them in a shop.
Yeah, but the thing is with all these people looking for us, don't you think they'd
I
rather
mean,
just turn-
200K for our heads is a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know if they'd be willing to risk themselves just to, because they
Yeah.
can make more money getting us turned in. I
Yeah,
mean, if you
I
want,
say we use Nara's. We use the disguise kit, put some makeup on ourselves. We have Nara do his spell thingy, and we sneak our way out of here. And once we're out of the city, we're probably fine.
From there,
might
I
be-
mean, there's all
we might
kinds
be
of
able-
cities you can stop in along the way to try
Yeah,
and
we
procure yourself a
might-
vehicle or something.
we might be able to find something along the way then. Yeah, that's so we might be walking for a little bit, but we could just go to, we might be able to find some places outside.
What's the next closest city that's towards Dredgemore? Oh, do you have a continent map, by the way, too?
He says, well, not much has changed continent-wide. Most
No new
most
cities or
places-
anything like that?
Oh, sure, new cities have cropped up, yes.
Are all the other cities full of the same technology as this one?
Oh, no. All cities have advanced technologically, but this is definitely the most advanced of them. So he pulls out a map of Venterra and unfurls it on the table. It's an old map. He says, I haven't left the city in a long time, so all I have are these old maps. But everything should be in at least close proximity to where it was before. So, let's see. If you go straight south into the desert, you can find yourself. I haven't been there in a long time. He kind of looks over and ponders over the map. He circles a couple cities for you. So the map is there in the. It's pinned in our Discord. It should be one of the first pins that we have.
Yeah.
And then the document that's got the world overview's got the city names. So, Nara, you know that your home is not too far away from here. It's due southwest from here, in the middle of the forest. If you wanted to go to the Elven Forest, you can head there for the elves. That's probably the like closest big area of the continent that you could go. As for like small cities here and there are all kinds of places like Clearbrook and Winters Valley, and small cities and towns along the way that you can find. But if you're looking for like the next big city, the next big city is actually Jerome's home, Spartanomia.
Spartanomia.
That's the next like big city. It's smack between here and Drudgemore.
Well, I guess your home is where again, Nara? The Ilian Forest?
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the first place to go then, because it also might be the least Raziel corrupted area.
I mean, we could skirt it probably, but I wouldn't recommend going into, there.
You leave your family on bad terms, because most of your
Oh.
family should be alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I really shouldn't go there. We could probably like skirt around,
Wait, the one area that might actually be a resistance towards Raziel we shouldn't go to.
I mean, I guess we can try. I don't know. I'm not.
Do you want to just maybe tell us?
I mean, I just kind of got like, I just kind of got, shunned away, but it's,
Exiled?
yeah.
What does one have to do to get exiled?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can talk about it on the way.
Okay.
But, we
okay.
could just skirt the forest, I would
I
say.
guess Alien Force isn't an option.
I mean, we can try. I don't know. They could be dead. I doubt it, but
I mean, the goblin said that they were still alive, so
yeah,
granted,
I
he
mean,
might
they
have
live
turned
for
us
a
in,
while, but I mean, you never know. It's the forest.
It's the forest. I never thought I would say that.
There's wild animals in there. They could be dead. You never know.
I've seen you shoot a bow now. I'm not that worried about wild animals, truth be told.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's up to y'all. Whatever y'all think.
Okay. So Gimli is like, okay, that's a tense conversation. Exile's never fun. Anyway, if you want to start, there's Spartanomia here. You can stop there. They haven't changed much. They're still a rowdy group of ragtag people who like entertaining. That's what they're all about. So,
Question: did we have cars back then 50 years ago? We didn't,
no.
right?
Mm-mm.
Can I ask? So quick question: when we buy this oil and gasoline, could I hook this propulsion thing onto the side of a wagon and have the wagon go by itself?
I mean, it wouldn't propel it that much. You'd probably need 6 or 7 of them to propel an entire wagon. But
do people sell propelled wagons in the city?
There are vehicles that you can procure along the way.
How much do we have the money for that, guys? How much would those vehicles cost?
Well, to procure one for ownage, to like own one, I would assume it's out of your budget. They'd be between 700 and 1,000 credits for a shoddy car.
But Solus, how many credits do you have?
You asked Solus?
What I asked Nara. Nara, didn't Solus give you a lot of credits?
No.
Nope.
He was basically held captive there. Like, I don't think they were paying.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind.
Also, what about cart shoes? Cart shoes.
Use rollerblades, yes. You can procure some rollerblades from here in the city, or
You're muted, Wembo.
do you have something you wanted to add?
Yes,
Wimbo?
I know.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I was doing something real quick. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says you could procure some rollerblades. He says the train is the fastest way to get from point A to point B. It branches off and goes to almost all of the cities here on the continent. So I think your best bet is to procure yourself a fake ID that's passable. Change your looks up a bit. I think that's probably your best bet. But if you can't do that, then find your way out of the city. Walk until you find the nearest town. See if someone there will help you make or procure you a vehicle, and go from there.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I think
go.
I have.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go to Shakespeare and talk to my good friend Secret.
I mean, we might want to be careful with that, but I mean,
that'll be the best place to start if we're gonna try.
I mean,
to
if
find
we get
fake
out of the
IDs.
city, we can look for other places too.
We could ask who was the guy with the pawn shop? He might be able to help us.
I mean,
That was
maybe.
Jax.
He seemed kind of hostile, though. I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think.
I don't know why you want to stay in the city, Jerome. We have a back entrance out. You know that, right? We don't have to go through anything. Then we can get
True.
fake IDs in Dredgemore.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do that then.
So
You'll definitely
Yeah.
be able to find someone there who will help you out.
yeah.
Alright. Well, then I think we're off. And he swings the door open. What do you guys want to do here? Do you want to follow him to the secret exit to leave the city? Or do you want him to just show you where it's at and then you kind of explore the city yourself? Or what's your plan?
Our plan is to get to the secret exit, quietly.
I don't want to follow him, honestly. What do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think it's safe? I mean,
I just
I
worry
would
that's
assume
not
we can
safe for
trust
him.
him.
I'm not worried about like trusting him. I'm just worried that he might get killed being with us.
Well, we've
He is
shown
one of,
that
like- he
people
is,
that
like,
come
one of
with
our
us are
best allies.
basically expendable in the past. So
That's
That's,
kind of why I don't want him to come
This is
with
Isabella's.
us.
This is Isabella's expertise. Yeah.
Bring them with us. Let's take them all. And then they die.
I
We can
really
save
think
him.
he can just show us on the map, and then we can.
Can we just walk quietly behind him? Like, no, we're not with him, but we're just, you know.
You could do that, sure. You could do that. You could like keep a distance.
You guys just want to kill
It's up
all
to
of our
you.
I
companions.
don't want to kill him, but I honestly think if we don't go with him, we're gonna run into trouble.
He may die, but that's a sacrifice we're willing to make. So what are you guys doing?
Lord
Tell me.
Farquaad, shout him out, dude. We shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't bring him with us. So I would say, point.
what if we trailed far behind?
We shouldn't follow him.
Well,
How
he's going to show
about
you where the
he-
exit is one way or another.
Let's
so
let's see
Yeah,
where it
just
is
let
on the
him-
map, and we'll just head that way, and he'll head that way, and we won't be with him.
He's not
We won't
taking
get
that way. He
killed,
can go
yeah.
out the front door.
yeah, so he shows you on the map that there is a spot. There's like a little opening in a marketplace, and that marketplace has a it's like a little circle opening in the city, and in there, in the middle of that circle, is a fountain, and he says, underneath that fountain is where you can find the exit that he remembers. The fountain's been there for a long time.
And how do we get underneath the fountain?
He says, there's a small grate next to the fountain that you can slide open, and it's actually much bigger than it looks.
Okay. Anything we have to be worried about in the underpass?
It's dark, but it shouldn't take you too long. Maybe couple hours to get through it.
Not bad.
And there shouldn't be any creatures down there that I remember. But it's been 30
Okay.
years, so.
Okay.
Is that, do
Well,
you want
good
me
to
to
know.
take you there? Or?
I mean, I don't know if you want to be with us, truthfully. I mean, that's our faces are plastered all over the city on these giant portrait things.
Ah, yes. He's been showing you off on the screens, has he? That's what those are called. Screens.
Yes, and screens. Yes, we've been shown off on the screens.
Yes.
Do you have like a dictionary so we could learn all these new words of all these new things that we don't know about?
He says, dictionary? No, I don't have a personal dictionary, no, but I'm sure you can find one at a library, one of the cities you're going to.
Okay.
I mean, things really in the last 50 years have mostly changed here and somewhat in the surrounding areas, but not as much as you might think.
Okay.
It's
So
really
it's
all
mainly just here.
centralized
Got it.
here, yes.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Because we're
Yeah.
kind of spooked.
Yes, everywhere is going to look a little different. Everyone's going to have more technology than they had back 50 years ago. Everything's going to be new to you, but there are going to be things that are familiar. So you should be all right. I trust that you'll be okay, seeing as you stood up against Razio the first time. Thank you for
Well,
the
he has had
bits.
53 years to prepare, so...
Yes, he has. And you haven't. So I would say take your time. All right. Well, let's head off then. Are we separating ways here?
I think that's probably best for your safety.
All right. Well, I will be around in Drudgemore if you need me. I'll be there long before you get there.
Sounds
Yes.
good.
How shall we find you there, if we need to?
Probably best not to communicate over these things. And he points to your cards. Says, you wouldn't be able to anyway. Why don't you look up this address? And he writes down an address on your, on like a little piece of paper and rips it off one of his note sheets. The address is 6470 South Court Avenue.
Is someone gonna write that down?
Hang on, I'm looking. I'm
You got
looking.
Got it.
6470. What do you say?
South Court
South
Avenue.
Court.
Okay.
All right. So, you get a little address. He says, you'll either find me there or you'll find someone who knows where to find me there.
Sounds good.
All right. He puts on this little bowler hat that he grabs off of the hat rack on his way out the door and puts it on his head. And he says, best of luck to you all, and thank you for this spark of hope. You'll be the first to know if I come across anything useful in this time travel theory.
Great to hear.
If you find people who are looking to rebel, pointing them in our direction, good idea.
I probably won't do that. And he kind of tips his hat. And he opens up the door. The light shines in as you guys walk past the stoner who's sitting on the steps. And Solus is looking good. His leg's working well. And he looks like the next thing he just needs is sustenance, and over time he's going to build back up to his old self.
That's good to know.
Awesome.
All right.
So when we get outside, we'll probably have Isabella do like light disguise stuff on us, like
Okay. I'll
cover
have
my
her
tattoos
roll,
with makeup and.
Disguise check here. Okay. She puts some makeup on you guys. Gives you guys just a little bit of different skin tones on your exposed skin, like your neck and your face. And she almost runs out of makeup doing this. I mean, it's a lot. But she gives you guys what she can. She tells Kithrak that there's not much she can do for him to make him not stand out the way he is. So, Kithrak, your
I'm
options
just built
are,
differently, bro.
You
I'm
are
just
definitely
built
built differently. Yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah, I do.
We gotta get you like a giant ass overcoat.
So yeah, we can get you some kind of coat or something that would be helpful. They got some clothes from the Goodwill that you could try putting on. They're kind of small, but you could wrap them around somewhere if you wanted to really look weird. You're gonna stand out either way. You're gonna stand out either because you're a lion man, or you're gonna stand out because you're dressed like a fucking idiot.
Better to dress like a fucking idiot than a lion, man.
So,
What you got against Leonin?
you guys find your way out into the streets, and you have your disguises on as best you can. So, what would you guys like to do? Where would you like to go? You've got a few options.
I mean, we could probably stop by a store, and like one of us who is fairly well disguised, or Pox, if Pox
I can just change the form.
Yeah, look, I assume Pox looks completely different now. Will can go in and grab some clothes for Thrak, and maybe buy some more makeup for Isabella.
Sorry, I'm getting some kind of setting messages. Just give me a second. I'll cut this out of the recording. Thanks. Okay. I got that figured out. Sorry, guys. What a pain. All right.
I feel like you gave us the name Porky's for a reason.
So Porky's was the place you could go to get like body modifications, tattoos, piercings, that kind of thing.
Porky's. Porky's.
Piercing place named Porky's, porcupines, needles.
Porky's.
That's cute.
We definitely met
Maybe.
someone named Porky.
Did we?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. I guess not. If he doesn't remember, then never mind.
Do you want me to?
Were you
well,
trying to
I can
get
do a
me?
quick-
Were you trying to gotcha me right there?
No.
Make a clothing
I
line?
just feel like
No.
you gave us that name for a reason. So like, I'm just wondering if we should go there.
Wait, what do you mean?
It feels kind of
I
weird,
will give
Commander,
you
that you
all
would
kinds
just
of
call
quests.
the.
I will give you all kinds of quests,
the
and you
third
will choose
Porky.
whether or not you want to take them. They're every time I give you like a specific name or like hint at a place to go, you don't have to go there. And if you don't go there, it's it's your
there's
choice.
really
and
no
it's not
reason
going
to
ruin
go
the story.
there.
It's not going to ruin the
Well,
story.
we definitely don't know a guy called Porky now because Commander gave it away. So we're good.
I feel like we should just go. Yeah.
I mean, we need to get clothes and makeup for Kathrak.
Oh yeah.
Let me
We
do it
gotta
quick.
figure out.
Yeah.
Need like a trench coat, some makeup.
You see a homeless man with a trench coat.
Maybe get some hair dye.
Oh,
and we'll just
should we?
on the ends of his like fur. So
I approach the home. Can I approach the homeless?
Sorry,
Sure,
nobody
yeah,
is
there's a homeless
dying my
man.
fur.
Wait. Well, it's Kathrak needs the code. I mean, if Kathrak wants to talk to the homeless guy for the code, maybe Kathrak might have better luck. Unless you want me to ask for a friend, like, hey, my
I
friend over
mean,
there thinks your code
listen,
is cute.
I don't
You know what
have
I mean?
a-
Like, what do
I
you
don't have
like?
Up to
I
you.
didn't invest in
Yeah, but you got
credits.
big muscles. Just take the coat from the dude,
I'm not
or
gonna
offer to
steal
trade
from a
him.
homeless dude.
Maybe it's
against my
Bear, and he's
code.
like he's a wreck of a man, and you can beat him in an arm wrestle to take his coat, dude. I don't know what were you snubbing your nose at adventure, at opportunity. You know what?
Adventure.
Arrest this
Is
man.
that what you're calling
Guards.
it? That's thievery.
That's a meme. I don't say that in game. That's a meme. Meme. IRL meme.
Got it.
IRL meme.
So you do
Memeing
see a
stuff.
homeless guy that's got a big trench coat. I mean, you'd maybe try paying him for it if you wanted. And then you wouldn't have to go to a shop. Otherwise, you can try and find your way to a shop.
If anyone wants to try to barter for me, actually, what do I got in my inventory?
What do you have in your inventory? I don't
You
keep track
have a
all
bunch
that.
of silver and gold that you didn't get rid of, so.
Do you have silver and gold? I feel like I didn't think you had any money left.
He did not transfer almost any of it into credits, I don't think.
I don't have any credits, but I'm one of the only one of us that kept the silver and gold. So I have 10 gold, 5 silver.
I also have a lot of platinum. I have 47, but we still have all the emeralds and shit that we haven't sold at the jewelers
Yeah,
yet.
I mean, we can do those in a different city too.
True.
Yeah,
But you
get
could
the
offer him a
he
couple
could-
silver
yeah.
pieces for it.
But let's go strike up a conversation with this trench coat man.
Okay.
All right. So he's sitting on the side of the street on a curb in his trench coat. He's wearing some raggedy pants with holes in them. And as you look at him, he's not wearing a shirt under where his trench coat is. It's just kind of draped over his shoulders, and he's like eating a mayonnaise sandwich, just whole, just.
Just
Mayonnaise
mayo
sandwich?
and bread.
It looks like it might just be mayo. As he bites into it,
I
you can
don't-
tell
I-
the
That's hot.
consistency
Bad
of the
feeling
bread
about
that there's
this.
only sauce.
No.
Oh, just
It's all
sauce.
sauce.
Nice.
This dude eats people, Jimmy. I need you to be realistic. I need you to wake the fuck up, dude. This guy
Listen.
eats people, all right? Let's stop. Let's drop the meme-age and let's focus
My
on
man's got
mayo sandwich, Jimmy. He eats people.
I'd eat a
Don't
mayo
want this
sandwich.
coat. What? Oh my god. Oh
Maybe
my
if it was
God.
like, okay, listen, if it was like
Ketchup?
the amount that you would like butter toast
Man,
with.
right.
Yeah.
He used to eat
some
ketchup
really
sandwiches.
nice bread and some mayo. It'd be delicious.
If it was toasted,
No,
man.
It's
and
a
the mayo was
con-
like melting a little bit, maybe,
Ooh, I don't. Ugh, no.
maybe.
Commander,
Anyways,
I'd like to.
so I'm gonna go up.
So you walk up to the guy or no? Not
Yes.
gonna do it, pussy.
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Pussy.
So you walk up to the guy. He eating his mayonnaise sandwich. He looks up and he goes, "What do you want?"
Well, I am in the market for a new trench coat. Was wondering what I would have to part with to get yours from you off your body.
How about your no, you need this trench coat, this one right here. He points to the one he's wearing. How about
And I have a few interesting things you might be looking for. Also, I have some gold and silver.
None of that's interesting to me. What I want is that thing around your neck. It's pointing to your mane.
My mane.
Yes.
How long is my mane?
Your mane is it's bushy. It's it's not big though. It's not like huge. You've got just the mane kind of comes down to into like chest hair for you. And then you've got, the long hair on top of your head as well.
Yeah,
Is this
it's
something
not,
that grows
impressive.
pretty easily on my character?
The hair you've been growing it for a year or two.
Okay. Honestly, that might help with me being able to not be, recognized as well. This might be two birds with one stone kind of thing. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I feel like it's a bad idea. Like there's got to be a reason.
Do it.
I don't know.
it.
I
don't
think-
know.
I think
we got to make decisions.
I think
Ask
Kathrak is at
ask
the
him
point.
why.
For what?
Ask him why.
For
Just
what?
ask him
Yeah.
why.
Kathrak-
he
Kathrak's
wants-
Alright, what do you want?
change.
What do you want it for? I
No,
need to
ask him.
know.
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
stripping myself of part of my mane, what are you gonna be using it for?
I am going to use it to warm myself at night. I'm going to wear it like you wear it. You make it look nice. He takes
It's
another big bite
respectable.
of his mayo sandwich.
I think that's respectable. Listen, guys, I
Pox
think
gags a
Kathrak
little
is
bit
at a
and then
place
backs up and
mentally
just kinda
where
turns
he's
around.
becoming a little bit more unhinged, and so I think we're gonna do it. I think it'll double as an extra disguise, and I'm helping a dude out, and I get myself a trench coat, even if it has
Good.
mayo in the pockets.
Good enough for me.
Here, I even have these scissors, and he pulls them out of nowhere.
All right, let's do it.
Presumably out of
Can
some
I
kind of
choose who
crevice.
gives me the haircut, though?
They've got to do it right.
All right, I think Whip could probably do it the best.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
All
Elf, here you go. And he hands you
Snip,
the
snip.
scissors.
Okay. I'm a
Roll
great
me a
hairstylist. by the
dexterity
way.
check.
Oh
Is it
God.
dexterity or sleight of hand? Because if it's sleight of hand, we
If
can do
it's
It's
it.
not sleight of hand, because sleight of hand's like what you're like stealing something.
Sleight of hand is, usually it's kind of like stealing something, but I'll let you, if you're proficient in sleight of hand, Whip, I'll let you do sleight of hand if you want. Otherwise, just do dexterity.
Oh, I'm good at both, but
You're better. You're proficient at sleight of hand.
So, with a 19, you snip the hair on Kathrak and cut it pretty well to the point where it's kind of in a big pile. Some curled, some straight. The hair on the top of your head is straight. The hair on your chest and kind of main area is curled. And he kind of piles it up on the street corner. And he says, that seems like a good deal. And he hands you the big trench coat that he's wearing. It's a big black trench coat. So right now,
Perfect.
do you want to be bald, or how much?
Nah, just maybe like a little mangy on top, you know?
Yeah. So you actually look kind of badass.
Just messy. Yeah, just messy, and like I'm kind of digging it too, because
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit unhinged, being around all this future crap. I'm rocking it.
So you guys see that he's like a big lion man with this nice black trench coat with a big collar on it. It almost looks like a pea coat. It's like a big black pea coat / trench coat. His hair has been cut down. He no longer has the like barbarian braids, but now it's kind of like a short military cut, little curly. His chest is no longer furry, so you can see all of the muscles and veins kind of bulging in his chest. He's badass looking. And his arms are kind of like the furriest part about him now, as you can see, like his forearms are like furrier than anything else. And he kind of looks like almost like a businessman lion. The only thing is, if you look under his trench coat, he's not wearing anything but a loincloth. So, but if he buttons it up, he looks pretty
Nice.
savvy.
You know, business on the outside, and then the quick D-rope to party time.
Exactly. So, you guys traded fur and mane for a trench coat, and the homeless guy takes some of the fur, and he puts it in his sandwich and takes a big bite.
Here you go, Wembo. He's got a fur
right.
mayo sandwich now.
Hell
I'm not
yeah.
Pox isn't looking. Pox has already turned around and just ignored the
Yeah, I think
situation.
we should move right along.
There's no memes for Pox here. There's
think
no
we gotta
memes for
bounce.
Pox here.
Got a lot to do. Got a lot to do.
Hairball.
This is not my time. This is Pox.
Hey, listen. As far as I'm concerned, it's out of sight, out of mind, and let's get out of sight.
True. Now we're gonna head towards the grate. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, so you guys are heading toward the fountain?
Yeah, we're gonna try to take back alleys and stuff like that, and I'm assuming Whip is going to cast her spell again.
Yeah, is it over? You think?
Yeah, it would have been over by now. Let me double check the length. I think it's 10 minutes on.
It's
Path
1
of
I thought
hour.
it was an hour.
Is it an hour?
It's an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, then you can save. Yeah. So we'll say you've only cast it once today. You cast it once during the battle, and it lasted for your like trek to Gimli's house. So you've only cast it once. So you can cast it again if you want.
Well, we're gonna sneak our way there. Then do you want us to roll stealth checks?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Good thing we have fucking.
What the hell is happening? I
Nice.
feel like
I don't know if it works on Commander's game,
Why do I have
but
to wait for a stealth check for a good roll? Are you freaking kidding me, bro? I better
Yeah, these are
I
pretty
better
low.
stealth so well that my hair just
good
grows.
thing we have a +10 to all those rolls.
No, you were feeling really slick with the new fade, and you were like,
I became
you were extra.
undetectable.
You were extra cool.
All right. So 18, 19, 16, and 32. Who are we missing? Are we missing somebody? Missing
Yeah.
someone? Oh no. It was a natural one.
Unless
from
you
Nora. Okay.
roll for Isabella.
Yeah, I'll roll for her. She got an 18 on dice, so she's good. So you guys are heading through the city. You find your way through the back alleys and avoid the obvious people. The people that are kind of out there in the open, who you're able to just kind of sneak behind dumpsters and turn corners to avoid and kind of get around them. And as you're walking through one of these alleyways, to your left, you've got a couple big dumpsters right next to a building wall. And then to your right, you've got another building wall and a big sewer drain that kind of goes beneath the foundation of that building. And in that big sewer drain, which would be called the storm drain, there's like an opening. And you hear a "Psst, hey" from the opening as you guys are walking. Do you stop or do you keep going?
No,
We
wait,
can't hear you.
from a sewer drain?
Yeah.
I vote no.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
it's Pennywise, bro. I'm not going over there.
How you doing, Georgie? Yeah, I vote no, dude.
I'm going. Jerome's going. I break off.
Hey.
I go. I'm talking to him.
I'd
Hey,
rather keep moving, but if Jerome was split off, I
Don't
think
do
we
it.
should slow the pace a little bit.
I stay far away.
I'm splitting off because I'm curious.
But I watch from afar.
Okay. So
As long as Pox
who's
is a
going up
credit.
to the storm drain?
Jerome is.
So as you go up to the storm drain, you hear a voice from down there say, "Hey, I saw you guys walking. You know, you guys are worth 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1,200,000 credits walking around. Maybe you could use a little guide through these streets. Get you out of here. I'll do it for some money."
Really?
And as you kind of look into the sewers, you see the eyes of a creature looking out at you.
What kind of creature is it?
Should I roll perception on the
Hard
creature?
to tell. Hard to tell. They're kind of keeping their distance.
I'm gonna roll a
Yeah,
perception.
roll me perception, sure. Anyone else who's looking can roll me a perception check.
Well,
but
I'm
that's
the only
anyone
one
who
that's
said
by-
that they were gonna go over there.
I'm the one that's closest to the
Yeah.
to the grave.
Can I look from afar?
Yeah, you can roll a disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
Roll
If you're
twice,
keeping
right?
your distance. Yep.
Hold
Twice.
control.
Wow, that's a 20 and a 1. Holy shit.
Some extremes there.
Was
up?
it perception?
Yeah, perception.
How do you make it? How did you
Hold
do it
control.
like that? Hold control. Okay.
Or hold shift to do advantage.
Shift, I think. Shift or control.
Shift
yeah.
for advantage, control for disadvantage.
Correct, yeah. All right. So with that, yeah, looking in there, Jerome, you see that this creature has fur, a long snout and fur,
Long sun fur.
pointed ears, The long snout is so it's got kind of brownish fur. Long snout comes down to a pink nose, and and by long snout I mean long snout. Like it is similar to that of a canine type nose. But it's got small pointed ears, this kind of matted brown fur, and it's wearing clothes that are dark enough to obscure the rest of its body, so it's hard to tell the rest of it.
The real question is, why do you want to help us?
He says,
Well, I'm not gonna be able to take you all in, so I could help you get out and just get paid by you.
Oh, so are you running from the cops as well?
Not necessarily. I may still tell them that I saw you for some extra cash, but I can still help you get out of here pretty safely.
I have no qualms with you. Anyone who stands up to the man is good with me. I'm just trying to make some extra dough.
So really quick, I know as a DM, we know a way out already according to Grimly. He told us the way out. So why do we need to get paid? So we probably have to still talk to him though, right? Because he knows where we are, and if we don't pay him now, he's gonna tell us, he's gonna give away our location anyways.
Up to you to think of that. If you believe that this creature is going to get vendetta-full and angry if you don't let him help you, then maybe you want to talk with him and try and figure out a deal. Or if you don't care, you just let it go and see what happens. Thank you for the 100 bits.
Hey, what's your name? What's your name, buddy?
Oh, that's not important.
How old are you?
Why would that matter?
He steps closer. You now see that he has a slinking pink tail that's dragging on the ground behind him, a naked pink tail, and he's kind of hunched over and crotchety, long kind of lanky arms with brown fur that come over the hands, and he has the features of a rat.
You been here since You've been here since the old cities got destroyed?
I've been around for a few years. I know my way here and there.
Shoot. Yo, guys, what was the rat's name that we talked to? What was the rat's name that was our pet? You guys remember? What we called him? We gave him
Stuart.
a name. Stuart. Do you know
Just talking about a small rat over there? I can read lips. It looks like you guys are... Hey, if you need any charisma check, I'm really good at charisma. Just let me know. It seems like you guys are having a hell of a time over there. Let me know, though. Again, sewer drain's not my thing. Pox. Not the sewer drain person.
You know of a really cool friend. I know a really cool friend. His name's Stuart. Does that name ring a bell to you at all, my friend?
Stuart? No, it doesn't ring a bell. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Wait, I did the wrong voice.
Stuart? No, that doesn't ring a bell at all. No, sorry.
Jerome, what's taking so long over there?
I think we'll be good for now. I'll see you around. We're gonna try to make our own way around, but if it looks like we're gonna start falling into some trouble, we'd definitely be willing to maybe need an exit out. For now, I think we're okay. I'll keep you in mind. I'll look around the sewer drains. You keep an eye out for us.
Best of luck to you. And if you do end up needing me, my name is Shakes.
Shakes? Wait, Shakes? Do you own the shop, Shakes?
He kind of bows a little bit and backs away slowly.
Wait, do you own Shakes? The store?
Best of luck, traveler.
Wait, Shakes!
Damn.
All right,
Jerome,
I go back.
why are you yelling Shakes over there? Can we get a move on, please?
Yeah. Okay, I get to the group and I tell them, guys, I think I know where we need to go.
We have a way out, Jerome. Why
I'm
do you
just saying, if we ever fall ourselves into some trouble, we should go to Shakes.
Okay, but when we come back in and need an illegal place to go, we'll go straight there.
Yep, just letting you guys know. I'm a
Did
little.
we already know that, though?
As you could tell, I'm a little slow right now. I'm a little slow.
All
Gotta
right.
shake all the rust off, Jerome.
So
Cyber rust.
cyber rust. So you guys make your way out of the alleyway here and into an open little market area. The shops all around look like they are less, I guess, shops and more what you would consider like activity places. So there's like a martial arts place here. There is a spa. There is a place for like paycheck advance in this location. So you're not sure what paycheck advance means, but you probably guess. And there's a big fountain in the middle of this small circular market that has a visage of an elf, a male elf, who is standing tall, his foot on a rock. He's holding up a spear, and out of the tip of his spear is the water that kind of trails down into the fountain. And he looks like he's wearing moss-covered green armor that used to be emerald in paint, but the paint is all kind of worn off, and now there's just moss that kind of gives it a greenish, ugly greenish color. And doesn't look like anybody really in this area of the city at the moment. Nobody like hanging around the fountain or anything like that. So go ahead and roll me investigation checks for the grate.
Alright, don't look past my roll. I'm
Your roll
rolling
wasn't
high
bad,
now.
Jimmy. It's okay.
You're doing good. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you. I know.
So Jimmy and Jerome, you guys both spot a grate that's kind of out of place, but by the time you spot it, Nara's already pulling on it. And Nara, what you find is there's a big grate that goes around the fountain. It goes all the way around the fountain. And it's not big enough for a person to fit in. But there's a spot in the grate that's got like cuts down the side that you can actually unhook. And as you unhook it, there is a little mechanism that allows you to slide some of the stonework of the street back a little bit, like a little trap door. So you're able to unhook the grate and then slide the stonework back a little bit, and you see that there's a ladder that leads down into a cavern beneath the fountain. You guys are looking around. You don't see anybody around that is like following you or anything like that. But what do you guys want to do? Do you want to just go down there, or do you want to just know where it's at and then go do something else?
I say go down there.
we go down and get out of here.
Yeah.
Investigate.
Should we investigate?
And what are we investigating?
The way out, dude. That's what I'm saying. Let's further explore.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right. So you guys head down the grate. The tightest fit for any of you is Kathrak. He's got the biggest muscles, kind of hard to get through this small area. You kind of cut yourself a little bit on the grate as you're going down, but not too bad. As you come down the ladder, you take the stonework of the street and kind of pull it back on top of where the grate is, where the ladder is, and then place the grate back where it belongs, and you head down the ladder. It is pitch dark down here, so anyone without dark vision has trouble seeing. If you'd like to light up something, I know some of you guys have the light cantrip, some of you guys have torches, up to you. Otherwise, you can just walk in darkness for an hour.
I think I'm the only one who doesn't have dark vision, right? And I have the spell dark vision.
Okay.
So I'll cast that.
Spell. Yeah.
So.
Go ahead and mark it off your spell slot.
Yep. Will do.
And you guys start heading through this cavern. It's a pretty cramped little cavern that dips down and up through the underbelly of the city. It is somewhat like a sewer in that it has small openings for air to escape, and it doesn't smell too great down here, but you get an idea that that's probably just from the like the city itself, and the drainage that comes down into these holes just kind of creates mold and stinkiness, but there's no feces or anything down here. And in fact, the only thing that you notice that's kind of strange is the walls are like perfectly smooth. It looks like this area has been man-made for sure, like made by people with care for it to be a strong and fortified passageway beneath the city. It also does a lot of curving and dipping down and up. And you find yourself to a spot that actually has a little drop off. So I assume someone with dark vision is up front. So you see this kind of drop off first. And this drop off drops about like 20 feet. So it's like a sliding kind of sloping pathway that then just has a drop off that goes down about 20 feet to a continuous more, like there's more of the pathway down there. So it looks like this is like the place of no return type thing. Like once you drop down this way, you're not allowed to go back type thing. Or it would be hard. You'd have to jump really high or, you know, climb somehow on the slick sloping walls or fly. Those would be, or teleport. Those would be the only ways you'd be able to get back up this kind of slope. So this drop off is very sharp, very steep, and you could slide down it without getting hurt, but you would not be able to climb back up it. It's too smooth.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm describing to you. Are you guys taking the leap? You leaving? All right. You slide down the side of this slope into the sewer, not into the sewer, into the passageway, and continue on for another 30 or so minutes, sloping, curving around. You start noticing there are more animals in this area. There are rats and even some bats. As you are walking, whoever's in front, your head kind of hits one of the bats and actually wakes it up, and it flies off. It kind of scares you for a second because it was out of nowhere. It was hanging from the ceiling, but your head like hits the bat and it screeches and flies off. The rats beneath your feet are becoming more and more numerous as you continue walking, but you're also seeing a light kind of around a curvature of this opening. And as you finally make it through, you found your way to an exit in the side of a hill right outside the city. This exit is small and is covered by a grate, similar to the grate that you came through to get down here. Mm-hmm. And the grate is somewhat loose as you grab it and kind of jingle it a little bit. It kind of comes loose from its bars and you're able to move it to the side. It is a bit heavy, but you make your way out of the pathway and out onto some pretty green grass. It's a pretty beautiful little patchwork of hills and grass out here right outside the city. And you can look behind you and you can see the towering skyscrapers and dark black city of Neltoris around the corner of this hill. And you see smoke rising up from the middle of the city. You can see spotlights moving back and forth even during the day. They are bright. And it's starting to become like late afternoon for you guys. So it's like 3 or 4 o'clock right now. And you see a pathway, a pathway which would normally be used for carts, but it's made of perfect stone. It's smooth, not cobblestone, not dirt, but like perfect like cement stone. And you see these vehicles zoom, going really quickly down this pathway. Boom, zoom, going down this pathway. They are going very quickly, reminding you of no other creature you've seen before. They are dangerous looking. Like if you were to be hit by one, you would be extremely hurt or even die. They are going very, very quickly, and a lot of them are lined up to go into Neotaurus. So they're lined up to get into the city, and going the opposite direction away from the city is where the cards are kind of speeding. They're kind of speeding on the other side of this, what we call street. So you would not know that word, but you would call it a road. You would know it's called a road. Other than that, it's a big open pasture in front of you with hills, rolling hills. And if you go straight south, you'll hit the desert after a few days. If you go southwest, you'll go towards the forest, which is where Nara's former home is. And if you go slightly less southwest, you'll go towards Spartanomia, the city that Jerome was raised in. It's the gladiator city of this continent. You know that Drudgemore is the same direction as Spartanomia. If you just keep going that exact same direction, you'll eventually get there after a few months of travel. But it'll take a long time.
We should go to the closest city, get some fake IDs so we could take this train and get to Drudgemore ASAP.
I mean,
That
I think the
is-
closest city is Spartanomia.
So let's go to Spartanomia.
But
That's the
you do
closest
know
big
that-
city. There's a lot of towns in between.
Do you know people in Spartanomia?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know
I think
anyone.
I don't know if you've ever bought anything illegal in your life, Jerome, but generally the way that it works, you don't just walk your way up and be like, hi there, good sir, I'd like to buy some illegal merchandise. That's normally not how that goes.
Maybe we should have talked to...
And generally, people who will let you walk up and do that are not people you should trust.
Well, I'm just saying, I know I might have to go back into the city then and talk to Shakes, because Shakes probably knew how to make IDs and I forgot to ask him.
Rob Shakes, the store.
Shakes, the guy I just talked to, probably... It's kind of weird that his name is Shakes and then there's a store called Shakes.
Okay, think about this, Jerome. We are worth collectively 1.2 million credits.
I'm just saying, okay, you know what? I'll let you guys lead the way.
With no allegiance towards us.
I'm gonna let you guys lead the way.
We could just walk to the nearest town.
That's probably good. That's a good start. That's a good start.
Hopefully they don't require ID.
Well, guess you'll have to find out. So
We will find out.
you guys can travel along a footpath that kind of curves through the hillside here, and it stops at a few different towns outside of the main road here. One thing that you do notice is there's a large raised pathway that's on like concrete stone stilts, and you see that it is coming out of Neotaurus and across the mountainside, going through the hillside above everything, and it goes straight towards Drudgemore, and then it kind of splits off. You can see on the horizon, it splits off into a few different directions. So you would know that as the train tracks. You would have been kind of given a rundown by your new gnome friend, Gimli. So, with that, you guys are alone. It's the 6 of you and Solus, and you are heading down the footpath. Now, this footpath is not unused. There are people on this footpath that are traveling towards and away from Neotaurus. This footpath is not bustling by any means, but nobody seems to be walking like you are. Everyone seems to be traveling, but nobody seems to be walking. You see people on small motorized scooters. You see people on rollerblades, on bikes, and they all kind of tell you to get out of the way or move to the side as they're coming through or going by. A few of them are holding onto parcels, have backpacks on. Some of them are listening to music. You hear some of that familiar as it goes by.
Cat jam.
Definitely. As you guys are traveling, this is a good chance to talk amongst your characters about anything that you're curious about, things that you want to prepare for, things that you're curious about each other, or about any specific things that your characters have learned that maybe you haven't shared with the rest of the party. Just all kinds of stuff you can talk about. But now would be a good time to kind of have those conversations, because it's been really busy the last few sessions.
Man, what are those cartoon like what are those cartoon drawings of those girls on these screens, man? They look so animated.
No.
Wow.
No.
Wonder are those real? Are those real
If
girls?
there's one reason we need to go back to the past to change the future, it's to destroy anime.
Wait, anime? Those things are called anime?
That is not canon.
No.
Question to you guys. Do you guys want to go back in the past? I mean, that might be a viable solution to take care of this problem.
Can we go back in the past to take care of the problem, but come
What?
back in the future?
I don't know.
I think I would be happier as a character, and
Either way.
my character would be happier in the past. Yeah.
'Cause I don't really want to go in the past.
Well, I think some of us have things.
Who says
that
we gotta
would...
stay in one?
Yeah, I think like at some point, once our job is done, if we needed to make a split, if that was a possibility, it might just need to happen.
Nora, why can't you go into the forest?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I was just
What did you
exiled.
do to get exiled?
It's just elf things. I can't really, you wouldn't understand.
But can you try to explain? We quite literally are going up against someone who quite now owns most of the continent, and our one potential ally might be in a forest that you can't go into. Might be a little crucial.
I mean, well,
to
we
know.
could try. I mean, someone was murdered. They blamed it. They thought it was me. It wasn't, but,
So
elf
you were
things.
falsely accused of a murder.
Yeah.
Okay, 53 years ago. How long was the exile?
Well, I'm assuming forever. I don't know. I didn't really get into it. I just left.
Did you go to court or anything like that?
You think elves have court?
I mean, they kind of always seem high and mighty, so I don't see why they wouldn't have a court.
We live in a forest. I don't.
They prefer that. There's councils. I've definitely heard of elven councils.
Yeah, there's a
like a-
council. I don't really know if they go by court. We can go there, but honestly, it seems like out of the way because we'd be going, this.
Well, on the way
You
back,
got.
it might
Sounds
be
like
good.
sounds like you got exiled the same way that Jerome and Zim beat up. Oh man.
You
Why
trying to
is
say
his
it
name
didn't
escaping me?
happen? Are you trying to say
Razio,
it didn't happen?
You all three sound like liars in the situation.
Why
Is
would
that
I-
what I'm
why
telling
would I
you?
lie
We did
about
beat
it?
up- We did beat up
That's what I'm-
Razio. I'm very confident in that statement.
Why would
like
I lie
when
about
Jerome's
that?
No, we
confident.
believe you. Oh,
You
okay.
guys are all arguing about this, and I'm in
Anyways,
the
I'm
back.
sorry,
I'm
I'm
like,
sorry,
so
I'm sorry.
how about my haircut? You guys like it?
It
You
looks- it
look
looks-
good, man.
It looks good.
It's- yeah.
Thanks,
Honestly,
man.
if
Yeah.
you want to go, we can try. Let's go.
What would
It's
happen if
fine.
you were to go back?
We can find out.
You mean you don't know?
I've never been exiled before, so I mean,
Well, isn't there like something like, hey, if you come back, we will kill you type thing?
yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
is that what we're talking about here? You're gonna
I
be
mean,
killed?
maybe things have changed in the last 50 years. We can try if you want. We can see.
Do you have anyone that you knew who was friendly to your cause there?
Well, yeah, of course.
Like
Okay,
who?
maybe we should send them a letter.
A
How
letter
we-
would
a
be a
letter?
better idea, I
How do you-
think, than physically going.
Or we could all go. And then you could just walk in and just see the situation. And I would just stay back. You could see the situation.
I feel like I'm definitely not getting all the information here, Nara.
That's the information. I don't know what else to tell you.
As you say that, Solus kind of roars loudly and takes a step towards you, Zim. Back off.
No offense there, Solus. Calm down.
I mean, they might not even be there now. It could be totally different. We could go see. It just seems out of the way.
Okay, well, I don't think anyone's going to be alive for where I at, but I used to be in a gang. I left the gang on bad terms. They want to kill me. They're in Dredgemore.
And we're going to Dredgemore.
I mean, they should be dead. It's 53 years.
True.
That's my hope. But at least I'm being open and upfront with everyone here.
I'm being honest and upfront with you too. But,
Yeah,
elves live a lot longer. So
I don't know how elven society works, so I don't really know the consequences of an exile.
yeah. Well, things could have changed. It's been 50 years. So
For a race that doesn't age, that doesn't give me a lot of hope. I'm not gonna lie. I'm expecting most of my people to be dead, except for a couple.
look at Nel Taurus. It's completely different.
That's true. It was leveled twice.
We do look a little bit different too. People might not recognize us.
That's a hope.
Yeah.
And I do have a different name now, so I mean, the only problem is my tattoos don't go away.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty distinctive factor for where we're going.
Oh.
There are magical arcane tattoos that are tattooed on us on both. Well, not both, but as a child.
Yeah. Well, we can go.
Wembo, where do you want to go? I mean, Pox, where do you want to go?
Wherever the road takes us, wherever the drama is very, very, very light and not distracting.
Oh, Jerome, I don't know if you remember this from last time. I changed my name to Morgan Friedman. Okay? My name is Morgan
Okay,
Friedman.
Morgan.
Yes.
I forgot what I put on my ID card.
Oh,
did I lose my ID
Oh
card,
yeah,
Commander?
we
he's
chose
gonna
it
love
for
my
you.
my
new
ID
name.
We
They
chose it for
can-
you.
they
Somebody
can
wanted your
see-
name to be Nezuko,
Yes.
Oh my god.
Natty Spring, dude.
but I
I
think
said-
I think we made
actually
it
said
something
that.
different.
Natural Spring.
Nezuko.
I said that because I was like watching your TikToks.
Yeah, because you like the.
Yeah, your name is Nicholas Wilde.
Nicholas Nezuko Wild. Got it.
There you go.
I'm just kidding. Nicholas Wild. All right.
That's your
what
fake
was
ID
mine
name.
again?
I don't know.
I want to find it. Hang on.
I wrote mine down, so on my sheet.
Should be in the Discord messages. You can look for my last message
Nicholas
before
Wild.
the last one.
Because I'm born to be
Rarth-
wild, baby.
Wait, is it Rarth XD? Is that still what it is?
Yeah.
Your name is Rar XD.
No. Hang on. I'm gonna put it in the out of time Discord. There it is.
Rarth XD.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Rarth XD. Yes. Uh-huh.
So, you guys,
I
you
mean,
guys are discussing.
Either way, I say we go to the closest big town to try to see if we can get on a train without IDs, hopefully.
Agreed.
All right. So, I would like everybody, as you're walking, I would like everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
What? Oh no.
Constitution saving throw.
Ah, shit.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice
Can I ask
roll.
why?
No.
Okay.
All
Alright.
my rolls when it counts are just tragic.
Good thing I net 20 that roll.
So,
Tragic.
Someone like shoot a rocket launcher at us? Like, what the hell's about to happen?
Constitution saving throws. You'll come to realize Constitution saving throws are what I'm about to describe. So,
Oh, okay.
Nara and Zim, you guys feel an intense nausea overcome you while you're walking. You get dizzy. You kind of get lightheaded, and you feel like you want to throw up, but you hold it in. Kathrak, Jerome, and Pox, as you guys are walking, you feel this intense nausea, this lightheadedness, dry mouth, and as you do, you vomit the rest of whatever was in your stomach up and all over the walking path as a dude who's rollerblading by kind of like skates off the path and falls down. He goes, "What the fuck, man?"
Sorry, my stomach feels a little
I
not
gotta roll
well.
for Isabella. She's good. 18. Rolled 2 18s today so far.
What? Did you guys all just feel that? What the heck? I feel sick.
Yo, I think it was the 5G.
And it goes actually in somewhat of an order. I didn't actually keep track of the order in which you guys went through the teleporter, but it goes in that order.
Oh,
So the
okay.
last person to kind of like throw up is Nara,
That'd be
I think.
Kathrak, Pox,
Time
Pete's
sickness.
the last one. Pete's the last one.
yeah. So that'd
keep
be
the order that we
Kathrak,
went through?
Pox, Isabella, Nara, me, Pete.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah, Kathrak, Pox, Isabella. Yep, that's right.
man, I feel chunky.
You feel fine after you throw up, but it did feel bad.
Can I do like an Arcana check?
Sure.
I'll do it too.
Yeah, anyone who wants to roll an Arcana check can. That's fine.
I mean,
Wow,
rolls,
dude.
buddy.
I know, right? I have like +6s and +7s, and all my rolls are bad.
Okay, well, you don't fucking know.
I mean,
Chad,
I'm only gonna find the
can we get some hearts for Jimmy?
Can we get some F's in the
Dude.
chat for Jimmy?
Holy shit, these are bad
Our
rolls
rolls-
tonight.
Our
First
rolls
I
have just
lose
been
my
bad.
first I lose my main, then I lose my rolls.
It's
Honestly,
okay. You know, this is a good episode to have bad rolls. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. When you know what? Right. Next time combat comes in, I'm gonna pop off. You all know.
Yeah.
reminds me of something that like Leo could do.
What do you mean?
I mean, you know, like the playing of the music and then everyone falls asleep.
Mm-hmm. It kind of gives you a similar vibe, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. For Zim and Jerome, you guys kind of connect some dots in your head by looking at the order in which people started feeling sick and the type of sickness that it was and how it went away somewhat quickly. And you come to the conclusion that it has something to do with your time travel. And Jimmy, Nara, so Kathrak, Nara, and Pox, you are pretty confused about what just happened. You think you probably just ate something bad, is your first thought. But Zim and Jerome, you kind of have a better idea, but everyone else seems confused.
Well, I hope that doesn't keep happening to us. I think it has something to do with the teleport or the time traveling.
I think it was the time travel. Can you get sick from time travel?
I don't know.
I think
anything
maybe it's
about-
just because I haven't ate and that Red Lobster smelled so good. You know,
I mean,
Well, the Red Lobster smelled amazing, but
and I
I
haven't
don't-
ate.
I
This
don't
feels-
really
this
know
feels
much
more
about time
than-
travel, but I think it's connected in some way.
wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
yeah, I could see that. I definitely agree with you, Zim.
Yeah, so
Or
hopefully
I mean,
it's nothing bad.
Morgan Friedman.
Yeah, Morgan Friedman.
So the guy who roller skated off the edge of the street or the edge of the walkway kind of gets up. He's like, "You guys are fucking assholes. Fuck you guys." And he
Didn't
kind
mean
of
to.
walks. He starts rollerblading away.
Sorry.
Can we chase him down and steal his blades?
I'm gonna ask him for cart shoes. Literally,
He's
for like
wasted
3
his whole
episodes.
life while I studied the blade.
You puke on the sidewalk and make him roll out of the way, and then just kill him because he was annoyed by it.
Yeah, what a dick. We were having issues.
So you guys continue, and you find yourself to a split in the pathway, and you notice that one to your right there's a pathway that leads now under a raised road. So that same road that you were walking alongside before is now kind of raising up onto a raised platform, and it keeps going, and this pathway leads under that like a bridge. And the other pathway to your left leads off into the kind of hilly countryside, into as the hills get more yellow and more yellow away from the greenery. There's a little sign here in the middle of this pathway that has like a map, and it says "You are here," and then it points in, or it shows you in different directions where to go. So to your right, if you follow that pathway, we'll head to Spartanomia eventually. It says that you are a long way away from Spartanomia, many miles away. And then to the left, it leads you towards the desert, which is the city that it names is called Cruzad in the Gora Desert.
Big Cruzat.
So, I assume you guys take the right pathway, is that correct? Towards Spartanomia, or are you going to go explore the desert and take a big sidetrack?
Desert's a big no-go for me. Honestly, I hate the
don't think-
desert.
We don't have the
We're like
resources.
prepared for the desert.
resources for
Oh,
the
we'd
desert.
be
Like,
fine.
I
in the
Filler
desert.
art?
A trench coat. Like,
Filler art.
Honestly, no. Anytime any game
You
has
guys
a
hear that?
desert,
Sounds like some
I
bad
just-
weather.
No.
Is that a
no.
dust storm rolling
Is there
in?
like a close town at the edge of the desert that we could like stop in really quick?
Or take cover in with was that a dust storm on the horizon?
But no, I
What?
hate the desert. I am not going to the desert.
We don't need to go into the desert, but like
But you don't like sand?
there's usually like oases that have like little mini cities before you go in, because people will plan a lot of long treks like through deserts.
You do a lot
They
of
have
desert
cars. I
stuff?
don't
Just-
think that they're walking though.
Yeah,
you guys
true.
know that I can create water and food if necessary, right? Would be fun in the desert.
That's not the point. It's the scenery. I hate it. I don't like looking at it.
You know,
I mean, we weren't planning on going
something
into
I'm
the desert
noticing,
either way.
Nara, is you can't go to a lot of places. You're kind of
Very
picky about where
picky.
we're going.
For somebody who got exiled, yeah.
I just don't like it. I hate the desert.
What happened to you in a desert?
Either way.
I just hate it.
Have you been to a desert?
Yes, too many times. It's ugly.
Oh, interesting.
Not copacetic.
Anyways, there might be some hidden artifacts one day in a desert that we have to go find. So I'm just letting you know if that ever happens.
You're gonna have to go to a desert at some
You're gonna
point
have to go
now,
to a
so
desert.
suck it up and deal with it. Cause we're going.
Oh, well, not right now. We're not.
Wait,
I'm not
wait,
going
Not
what?
right now, but at some point we will.
No, not now. But what I'm saying is we do need to get to a library for a plethora of things, both to kind of expand knowledge as well as maybe we can find some hidden artifacts someplace. You know,
Good enough for me.
we need something to kill Razio.
That's very true. We definitely
Actually, probably many things to kill Razio.
All right.
Perhaps we shouldn't say that out loud.
or
Maybe we
we're
should-
we're out in the open. There's no way.
There's people walking everywhere.
Oh,
There's not a ton of people near us, is there?
There's not.
I kind of assume it's late at night, so.
and we're the only ones walking. So if people come through, like they're driving past, like they're not gonna hear like what we're talking about.
Yeah, there are just some people who are like walking and roller skating, but you're noticing that the trail is being emptied as the night goes on, as it's starting to become like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You're probably gonna want to find a place to stop here soon. You guys head down the right pathway towards Spartanomia and Drudgemore. As you head down this pathway, the first thing that you see, about 5 minutes of a walk down this pathway, on the ground is a sign that's like sticking up out of the ground. It's looks like it was placed there recently. It looks like a portable little sign that will probably get picked up eventually. And on it, it says Carnival Extraordinaire. And on the sign is a big circus tent with smiling faces and all kinds of colors, and it definitely looks like an old-fashioned carnival. And as you keep walking, you pass another sign, this one a little bit bigger, that also says Carnival Extraordinaire, and it's got a man standing on the front of it that's been, looks like printed on the front of this sign. So it's not been painted. The sign has some kind of other ink on it. It's very, very detailed for your characters who are from medieval times. It's a perfect painting is what it looks like, of a somewhat short-statured carnival ringleader who is standing with his arms out wide, his top hat in his hand, a cane in his right hand, and written beneath it says Carnival Extraordinaire, only here for the next 3 days. And then it's got a little removable sticker at the bottom that looks like it gets replaced with dates every once in a while and locations. And the little sticker right now says Willowbrook Village, right outside Willowbrook Village.
Oh, that looks interesting. And it might look close.
And it says 3 miles.
3 miles, we could do that tonight. We could catch a carnival and then get a place to sleep.
I like the sound of that. We could use
Need
some
a little break, honestly.
Yeah, we need a break. And you know, that means there's some
Oh my
very
God, me too.
flexible women there that I'd like to
Honestly, as long as it's not the desert, I am so down.
You guys feel a little
I think
wake up
Jerome
in the
can end
desert.
up with the bearded lady.
If you take me to the desert, I will.
Mysteriously, we all just wake up in the desert. There's peyote there. Let's go. Carnival.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna head to the carnival.
We're
All right.
going.
So as you guys head towards the, keep following the signs, keep following the trail, you find your way to a small village called Willowbrook. And Willowbrook is a small little farming village with fields of wheat outside of it that pass over the road. So, sorry, pass under the road, under where the road kind of goes over, and so it looks like they're planting big plots of wheat under this road. And the town itself is somewhat lively at this time of night. There are lights on in the windows of the houses. The houses look a little bit more advanced than old medieval type houses. They are still somewhat homely, though. They look like they're mostly made of wood and stone. And there's a big windmill in the middle of the city that is slowly turning and creaking. And in that windmill, there's a little window in the middle of it that shines out some light. And you can see some shadows moving behind the window there. The carnival that you were promised is just outside the city, to the south of it. So it's closer to you than the city itself. You kind of have to walk by the carnival to get to the city, to the town. And it looks like the town is probably 10 or 15 miles is about how big the town is. So it's not a tiny town. It's somewhat big. But, compared to where you just came from, it's minuscule. And there's lots of different buildings and lights on, smoke coming up from the buildings. And the carnival looks dark right now. Carnival looks like there's nobody at the carnival at the moment.
Do we miss the carnival?
It's like 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, so we just go to the town?
Up to you guys.
Is there a tavern? Yeah,
You're
I
probably
think we should
sure
go to
there is.
town, get a place to sleep, and then look for the carnival tomorrow, and then head out.
Are there perception? Should we roll a perception check to see if there's any signs of like the tavern?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll me an investigation check, actually.
Investigation. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone go ahead and roll me an investigation check. So we got, for investigations, we've got 20, 18, 14, 20, 18, 4, 24, and 14. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Let me roll for Isabella. So with your investigations, you guys easily find the tavern, and I'll give you some other pieces of information. So you guys find a few different important places in this town. The first place you find is the tavern. The tavern is called Drinker's Inn. It's a classic old-timey tavern. Less like a hotel and more like a real like bed and breakfast type place. Okay, the Drinker's Inn is what that place is called. You also find a market area in the town, a fairly large market area that sells all kinds of agricultural goods, especially wheat and things made of wheat, so baked goods and things like that. You can still smell the sweet smell of baked goods, the aroma in this area. And it kind of makes you guys' stomach growl. You haven't eaten much today, just rations from your packs. I mean, you really haven't eaten much. You've eaten enough to sustain yourself, obviously, but it just kind of makes your tummy rumble a little bit. Outside Drinker's Inn, you smell the smell of cooked meats and kind of that classic homely medieval type meal smells. So that makes your stomach growl too. The last thing that you guys get with your investigation checks is you learn together as a group that this town is largely untouched by technology. They're kind of a standout in terms of they are the most technology that you see is like the lights outside the city that kind of light it up just a little bit. They are what you would consider street lights, and they have some of them throughout the city as well to light up darker areas of the main roads. But for the most part, that's all they have in terms of technology. And it's very primitive. It's stuff that you would have easily dreamt of, Jerome, in your time 53 years ago. Stuff that you probably could have made if you had a couple more years. So it's pretty old stuff. But the people seem lively and happy. And you have lost sight of Neotaurus. Neotaurus is in the distance over the horizon somewhere, kind of out of sight, out of mind at this point. You're in kind of a newer world of this time period, and the people here seem very, lively. So, as you approach Drinker's Inn, you open up the door, and the noises and crowds of people, they all kind of stop and look over at you guys and kind of furrow their eyebrows You look around, the type of people that you see are not people that are dressed like you guys. You guys are still kind of wearing your newer clothes from Neo Taurus, you know, your leather jackets and things like that. And as you open up the inn door, the people that you're seeing are mostly dressed like you would have back in the day. Not totally. There's still some advanced, some more kind of, I wouldn't say high tech, but I don't know, you know, futuristic type garb, but I mean, nothing too crazy. The main thing that you see here is that some people have those mechanical augments on their body. So you notice that there's a guy who's got a mechanical hand that he's tapping the fingers of, like up and down on a table. And he looks like he's waiting for another guy who's got a hand of cards that he's waiting for this guy to play his card. You notice that there's a woman who's got mechanical legs, and she's sitting at one of the tables with her legs up on the table, and she's kind of leaning back in her chair, sipping on an ale of some kind. She looks like she is a dragonborn woman, and with like red scaly skin, but with these kind of shiny mechanical legs. And they all kind of go back to doing what they were doing. They all seem mostly happy and kind of just enjoying themselves. They all look like probably locals for the most part. You don't see a lot of people that look out of place here. You see a few dragonborns, a few humans, and behind the bar, you see a large red-skinned dragonborn with big muscles, big, huge scar down his face. Kind of goes from the top of his forehead down across his right eye and down his cheek. And he is smoking on a pipe that is kind of flaming at the tip of it. And as you guys come in, he raises up his towel that he was using to wash the bar and just kind of waves you guys to come over. And the rest of the people go back to what they were doing. And he says, "Travelers from Neo Taurus, I see."
Isn't that obvious?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. You guys walk all the way here?
Yeah, we don't really have a faster form of transportation.
Yeah, I can see you're sweating and you look a little tired. Yeah.
I threw up.
Wanted to take in the sights.
You threw up.
Yeah, we're looking at doing a long hiking.
Hiking. Yeah, sure. Not great hiking stuff around here, but further, if you keep following the road, there's some good hiking near the river. But yeah, cool. So
we're hoping
you
to get a
guys,
room for the night and see the carnival tomorrow.
I assume so. Yeah, we were just about to close up, so looks like you got here just in time. So room for each of you, or we've got plenty of them. It's a pretty big space. I mean, it's like the size of like a Great Wolf Lodge type place, so it's pretty big.
How much is a room? Because budget. We have a long trip ahead of us.
Room. I mean, for each of you, credit apiece.
Okay. I guess we could probably. Should we do 2 to a room? Probably do 2 to a room.
Yeah, we'll do 2 to a room, and I'll cover all 3 rooms.
All right.
Because I only got 3 credits left, anyways.
Yeah. No
All right.
problem.
I just hope you clipped your toenails this time.
What are you talking about?
How much?
No, wait.
is
We don't
the,
have to. We're doing 2 to a room.
How much
no,
is the
that was your
circus?
toenails.
How much is the circus?
He says, tickets to the circus. Yeah, it's probably 2 credits a pop. Not too much.
Okay.
It'll just depend on who's performing for what thing. Like, for example, if you want to go and just explore the circus, play some games or whatever, it's going to be 2 credits just to enter. But if you want to go see, like, one of the trapeze artists or something like that, that's probably going to be an extra credit to go into that specific show. Or, if you want to play a game, they might split up some credits. They also take gold at the carnivals. So if you are trading in gold, if you got some of that old-timey money, you take some of that too. A lot of people around here trade in gold and credits. So if you want to pay for your room in gold, you can.
I think we're good on credits.
Yeah, it's kind of taken over. It has been for the last, 25 years, but you guys wouldn't know anything about that, being city folk like you are. You wouldn't know anything about that. So.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Well, what takes you out of the city? He kind of leans on the bar. He's like, "Can I get you something to drink?"
Sure. We'd like something to drink.
City folk stuff.
We're looking to not become as much city folk. We're gonna do a long distance trek.
Yeah. Expand our horizons.
Yeah.
The old dusty trail, I reckon.
Be a little bit more cultured.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to why this place isn't as advanced. Is it as advanced?
We try and keep our nose out of it. You'll see a lot of the advanced stuff out in the fields. You know, the things that farm our crops and things like that. That's where we put most of the work in our technology. But we like our city to feel like home. We don't like all the extra peripherals and gadgets and zoozads and whatever else.
What's a zoozad?
It's just a word we use around here. Kind of like ope. We use that word a lot too. Ope. Ope. Heck yeah, when you're like leaving a place and somebody's like in your way, but you're kind of in their way too, like mutually in each other's way, you go ope, and then you kind of move to the side.
No. Interesting.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat got it. Midwesterners.
We have a lot of Midwesterners in this call, actually.
Yeah. So he says, "You guys hungry? I can hear your stomachs growling from here."
Oh yes,
yeah.
famished.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you guys have a
Red
what was the name? A Red Lobster?
He laughs. He goes, "Red Lobster? No, we don't have any chain restaurants like that here. No Red Lobsters. We just got the homemade stuff. But I mean, where are you guys headed next after this? You might find a Red Lobster in any of the big cities."
Oh, we're not quite sure yet. We're kind of leaving our we're trying to be free spirits.
We're going with the wind. Yeah.
Well, you'll find a Red Lobster. Any larger city. You know, maybe Spartanomia, or if you head over to Urkruzad, you might find one there too. Just the big places, the keystone cities. You know. Don't try going to a Red Lobster in Sutore, okay?
Why's that?
Well, you city folk don't know anything about the old days, but they used to teach this stuff to us, you know, in school. Back in my day, they would teach us about all the different places here on the continent. Sutore is it's the coastal city, the perennial sea to the east. It's out there tucked into the sand. It's where all the Triton live. A bunch of fish people. You don't want to go out there looking for a Red Lobster, okay?
That makes sense. Interesting. Does everyone have to have ID cards outside of here?
I mean, you don't really need an ID card in most places unless you're trying to get on something that belongs to the city. Neo Taurus.
Well, I mean, like they require us to get into Nel Taurus, so.
Did you say Nel Taurus? I haven't heard that word in a long time.
New Taurus.
Yeah, Neo Taurus. Yeah. So you do know something about the old days. Know something.
I mean, you hear history about the old city, but I mean.
Yeah, you do. It's we kind of like to leave that spirit out here, you know. About here in the country, we like to have that spirit with us, you know.
Did you used to live in Nel Taurus, sir?
No, my dad did. My dad used to live there.
Oh, cool. Did your dad own a tavern?
No. He was my dad was not a very rich guy. He was a pretty poor dude. Did a lot of hard labor work for me and my mom to be able to move out here and kind of make a name for ourselves.
Is your dad
What was
not
his
around?
name?
Is your dad not around anymore?
Oh no, he died many years ago. Probably 20 years ago by now. But
what was his name?
Guy. My dad's name?
Yeah.
My dad's name was Barak Chal. Probably don't know that one. That's not really.
Yep, that definitely does not ring a bell.
Did he have any nicknames?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, some people called him Barack.
Nobody.
You're not sure?
Do you think nobody called him Bear for short?
Nope.
Damn.
Nope. Never called him bear. I think he'd probably find that offensive. He was a big red-skinned dragonborn like me.
Wait,
That
big
makes
red-skinned dragonborn?
Yeah, he used to do a lot of the hard labors over there in Neltoris. You know, before I was even born, he spent a lot of times working. You know, they used to actually hire real people to do the policing in Neltoris. Back when it was Neltoris, they used to actually have people stand in the lines and wait for a job. People who were poor like my father. And, yeah, he used to wait in those lines all the time.
Yell random things out, complain about the long wait in line.
I mean, he used to complain about this one tabaxi who used to do that. there was an annoying ass tabaxi. He said this guy used to always open his mouth. One time he took an arrow right between the eyes for saying some dumb shit to somebody. Oh man. That's a weirdly specific thing to be asking about.
Weirdly specific time.
Or weird.
Yeah.
Just dumb city.
Anyways,
So yeah, some of you guys remember a big red-skinned dragonborn in the line. Jerome talked to him once.
Yeah,
I think
remember.
Nara talked to him once.
When you said big red-skinned dragonborn, I was like, yep, we talked to someone like that.
Yeah, he was just a big burly dude who was looking for extra money, just a random guy. But you can see the resemblance. And Nara, I think you were the only one who actually really spoke to him for any extended period of time. It was
And I
when
don't
you
even
first
remember.
arrived. And it's okay. That's okay. He wasn't anything special. It was just a person that kind of connects you to this guy at least a little bit. Where like you're okay. You're like okay. You know, his dad was someone who I can remember from this area.
Can we get some food and drink then, and maybe take a side table?
Yeah, of course. Sure. Yeah. You guys, we got ham chops. We got chicken livers. We got all kinds of baked goods from the bakery.
Oh, do you have anything on like the house special or chef's choice?
Yeah, we actually just started making beef Wellington recently, and it's kind of one of my favorites right now. So beef Wellington is you take a nice slab of meat, red meat from a cow, and you wrap it in bread, and it's very good.
That sounds. How much is it? Is it?
Beef Wellington. You guys could all split
Priceless.
a beef Wellington. It's 3 credits.
Oh, okay, let's do that then.
Can I get
you're not
ham
gonna all
thing?
get much though. You might want 2 of them.
Yeah, can I get 2? Can I get like 2 of the ham thing? What you said?
Yeah.
3
Ham chops,
credits
yeah.
for a beef Wellington, and it's 3 credits for 3 rooms. Wow, this beef Wellington must be really good.
So yeah, you get the kind of idea that they're keeping the spirit of the way it used to be back in the day, where rooms are cheap, they're not super expensive, and food isn't super expensive either. But if you want, something that's special like a beef Wellington, it costs a little bit of extra dough.
We'll get 2 beef Wellingtons then.
It's like, all right, yeah, sure. And just so you guys know, I mean, you're city folks, so I want you to know there ain't gonna be no air conditioning. There ain't gonna be no like soft cloth mattresses. I mean, you're sleeping on straw like we used to. I mean, it's the same shit out here like we used to.
I think we'll
We're
manage.
learning. It'll be okay. We'll be
All
good.
right, if you're sure, okay. So you kind of get an idea why the rooms are so cheap here. It's definitely a experience type place. You go here if you're trying to have an experience of the old timey days. So you guys order your food. You kind of camaraderie. What's the word? You have camaraderie with each other here in the bar, and that's where we'll end it for today. No cliffhanger or anything today. We'll just have you guys enjoying your food and getting ready for bed. We'll assume that you guys get some rest, and we'll wake up and we'll do carnival next time.
What do you mean no cliffhanger? I want to know how that beef Wellington tastes.
I'm so fucking hungry. There's been so much food talked about tonight, and I'm like sitting here, like just dying.